Happy Sunday, everyone. So, welcome to Let's Talk Crafts. Let me just set the camera properly and get the fro looking presentable. So, my name is Tara, and I'm the owner of Precious Delights Canada. And I want to welcome you to my regular Sunday lives. So, the title is always Let's Talk Crafts. It's every Sunday here, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I have guests, sometimes I'll be crafting myself, and other Sundays there'll just be an open door where people can hop on, break the ice in regards to going live for the first time or just coming on talking about their businesses. So this evening we do have a guest, and she is a children's author, and she is the owner of Fawn Fables. The account is under Dahlia Deerings, or Dolly, I think it's Dahlia Deering, but I'll let her introduce herself when she comes on. I want to welcome Fearless Creations by Shay. Welcome. Divine Elegance Accessories. KM Dummy Joined. Welcome, welcome. Shantana is me. Raymond Santana. I do apologize if I happen to butcher your name. Feel free to please follow everybody that's hopping on. We don't follow to unfollow. We like to show support, so it's not just talking about crafts and business in general. We're also here as a supportive community where we follow each other, we like each other's comments, we will share posts, we just engage to help with the algorithm. Let me see who else just popped in. Yes, hi everyone. So the special guest should be coming on shortly. And I do apologize if I don't see your comments right away. It's because, you know how sometimes Instagram does not allow us to scroll while we're on a live. It will at times cut us off. So I'm going to avoid, let me just see here. I'm going to avoid touching my screen. And I'm going to be asking you guys, if you have any questions, to please, there's a little question mark, if like where it says add comment on the right hand side, there's like a speech bubble and there's a question mark. What we would appreciate is if you have any questions during the live, that you put the questions in that little box, because the comments will scroll by so quickly that we might miss a question. But feel free to ask questions. Comments will still be on, but in regards to your questions, so that we don't miss them, put them in a little bubble where the question mark is, and then that way we'd be better able to see your questions. Hi Dee, welcome. Oh, our special guest is here and the request was sent, so give me a second. So it's going to say, did it go through? Hi, pretty bow.
Am I there? I can't see if you can. Am I on here? Or?
Yeah, you are on. Can you see yourself?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Hi,
hello, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today.
everyone. Of course.
So, as I told you when we chatted previously, my Sundays are extremely chill. There's nothing 100% professional about it. We go with the flow. There is absolutely no time limit other than the 4 hours that Instagram gives us. And I try to keep it to like 3.5, just in case they decide to try to kick us off closer to 4. But you can talk about your business, do the W5s, who you are, what you do, etc. And with that being said, I'll just let you introduce yourself. Go for it. Oh, I think you're frozen. Are you there? Oh, I think we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Hi, Shades of Beauty Plus. Welcome. Hi, Nubian Treasures Handcrafted. Let's see. I think her screen froze. So what we're going to do is see about sending another invite. We know it's life. Stuff happens. Okay, there's another request coming through. Let me accept that one. There we go. I pressed the request. So wait, let me just see. Beautiful Print T 17, welcome. Let me view that again. Let's go here. I'm accepting it again. Your first one is not off though. Hmm. How you doing, Dee? Ali J. Gord, welcome. Joyous J. Creations, welcome. We seem to be having slight technical difficulties. And I don't see that I can remove the initial request. Let's see here. You're going to have to click off. I don't know if it's your browser. I know we're good on my end. Lipstick by Imani, welcome. We are just having a slight technical difficulty in regards to the connection, so I'm just going to see if I can actually get her off. Which I don't know how to do that. Okay, so it says I have no request. I can't remove the guest. What is that one? Oop, turn my camera off by mistake. Still a learning process. Delgado 5196, welcome. Dolly, I still see you on my screen for some reason. Hoodie, I hit the X, but if I hit the X, it's going to kick you all out. Hi, Olala Toys, Clarissa. If I hit the camera, it has no requests. D, you said hit the X, but if I hit the X, oh, there we go. There we go. K-Ma Dummy, reload. I think that's what she did. Okay, so we're going to wait again. So be sure to put in the comments who you are, what you do also, so that people can follow you. My Sundays, as I said previously, they're extremely chill. And we like to network and fellowship here. So basically, we're to follow each other. Please don't unfollow one another. What happens is that go into each other's post, like, comment, and share. Like I said, don't follow to unfollow. It's not fair. It's not supporting one another. We're all growing businesses here. Oh, there's another request. Let's see here. There we go. Request, and I just accepted it. There we go. Hopefully it'll work this time. Let's see. Is it working better for you?
Am I here?
You're here.
Okay. It was the strangest thing. It was like I was listening to you, I could hear you, and then my screen though was on my scroll. It wasn't showing you. So, and I could see on my scroll that I was live with you, so I just went back in the live, but it was replaying old stuff. Like what you had said previous. I have no idea how that happened. So in order to fix it, I had to turn my phone completely off. Because I
turn it
couldn't.
back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were frozen, and I couldn't find the X to get to like unlog with you, but not lose the live. But anyways, we made it. We're here.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
As I was saying previously, very chill Sunday lives. Let's talk crafts. So we talk about everything and anything too. So we do the W5s, who you are, what you do, where we can find you, etc. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Dahlia Deering, and I am an entrepreneur. Hi. I have a children's book company centered around three core principles. I teach children how to celebrate their differences together. I teach them about self-love and self-acceptance, and then I want to enhance their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Those are the three core principles that I try to center all of my stories around. Another thing that I do is I also help other authors take their stories from paper to publish. So if there's an author that has written a children's book, it's a children's book in their head, and they're like, I don't know what to do, I definitely am a good resource for helping people do that. I also help people connect with illustrators, information, anything that I can do to assist them in the book, in the world of children's books is something that I do. My day job, or my side hustle was what I call it, because this is my real dream. I'm a regional marketing director, so I will get on often and talk to people about branding, pushing their brand, networking, the importance of doing that in order to move money, just based on my career skills. I've been in my career since I was 18, and I'm 35 now, so I've got some experience.
Just some.
But but children's books are definitely my love. Teaching, speaking, helping, that's more where I want to be. So that's a little bit about who I am. What I do again is I create children's books. This is one, Stony the Vegan Prince on Pizza Night. I Am Greatness. This is an affirmation poem book for children. Worth the Wood. This is a book to teach our little fawns, as I like to call them, about persistence and the importance of listening to their own voice. And Brown with a Crown. And this is just a fun mystery book. And at the end, it's all critical thinking. Each book comes with 5 core questions at the back to help the fawns connect what they just read with what they feel like they got from it. And then they lead the conversation so that whoever's reading it to them, whether it be a parent, guardian, big sister, can help guide that thought process based on the morals and things in the household that they are being raised in. So that's how I write my books.
I'm loving that. Like, we've spoken previously, but we didn't go in that much in depth.
Yes.
Very well. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm extremely impressed. So, where are you located?
I am in Atlanta. Woo.
Like my two sisters, I do a Wednesday live with Marsha of Royal Beauty Beads and Dee of D for
Awesome.
Diamond Painting, and they're also down there. So, for all you guys know, you might be neighbors.
Yeah. We are here. Yes.
Okay, and as for your books, where can people find them? Because a lot of my followers have children of that age
Awesome.
group too.
So my books can be found and I always say, because I'm big on marketing, anywhere that you can find me, there's going to be a link to my books. So on this page, my website though is fawnfables.com. So that's FAWNFABLES.com. But again, anywhere you can find Dahlia Deering, anywhere you see me, you click the link to whatever platform I'm on, and then a link to my books, my websites, my link tree, all of that will be there as well.
Perfect. Now, for 2022, do you have anything new happening? What should people look out for? Like, what's happening with Fawn Fables and you in general?
Yes. So for 2022, I actually am in the middle of writing 4 other books. I tend to write 4 at a time. These are almost ready to go. So I have 4 other books coming up, and then my signature character, Doe, which is who is behind me here, that's Doe. She will be debuting in 2022 as well, sort of towards the end of the year. I want to do summer, but with the other 4 books coming out as well, I may push her to the last quarter of 2022. But definitely lots of movement happening with Fawn Fables. In addition, my merch line and things are available now, but you'll start to see more ambassadors, more professional pictures taken, just a lot of things for scaling up. I will be looking to start and hopefully launch my personal marketing company as well this year. So that's going to be huge. There's just a lot of things for Fawn Fables related items going. And then Dahlia Deering, I am starting to become a brand myself. So I may be doing some things that'll all be connected to Fawn Fables, but those will be separate Dahlia Deering appearances and things as well. So lots of movement.
Excellent. My goodness. And we're only going into April now.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so I happen to have found you. We were on Preston and Armand's live on a Saturday. So if they're on here, thank you guys so much. Yeah, so we happen to connect through there. And I look forward to working with you this year as well.
Yes, yes.
But in regards to, like you said, you help people become authors.
Yes.
What are some, without giving away everything, because I know it is a paid service, but just the basics, like the open door process. How would people, somebody like for myself, I have little stories I've written. If I want to approach you, how would I do that to get
Um,
things rolling?
Honestly, you could easily just DM me, reach out, and say I'm very personable. I answer all my own DMs because right now I am still at the beginning stages. So it's easy to get to me. But one of the first things I would do is I would ask that let me look at it. Or if you're saying, hey, I'm not really comfortable, because I will say when I first started writing, when I first wrote my children's book, I had so many people who were trying to help me, but I kind of hovered over it at first because
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. It was my baby. It's like I wanted their feedback, but not their feedback. Like I just wanted them to tell me how to do it, not what to do. So I get that. I respect that. I like to move at people's personal speeds.
Yeah.
So if you were to say, hey, I have a children's book, where would I start? My first thing would be to have a conversation with you, not a consultation, just a conversation, because I want to know, what is your mind? Are you still at that stage where you don't want to show anyone? Do you just want a friend in the industry and you just want to hear some feedback on what my journey was like? Or do you want actual steps and help to get your book from paper to publish? And to be honest, a lot of times I will give people just a conversation to tell them, hey, I would do this, 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 and this, and you'll be on your way. And I have no problem doing that because I realize people who, and I'm overwhelmed right now with clients, to be fair, people who want to work with me, work with me. People who just
Yeah.
want me to give them a beginning start of like, hey, I kind of know what I'm doing. I just need somebody to point me in the right direction. I have no problem being that for free in a general conversation. And a lot of people who see me do it is like, that's bad for business. And I was like, you're saying that to me, but I couldn't take a new client right now if I wanted to. So
Okay.
obviously it's not too bad for business because you'll find that there are so many people right now like yourself who have
Yeah.
written a book, and to be fair, all of the steps and the tedious portions of it they don't want to go through. So they're paying me because they're like, look, I just want to give you my book, tell you, give you commands, and I need you to like make it a thing. There's plenty of people out there like that. I don't have a shortage of people that I can help and pay me. However, there are some go-getters like myself who
Hmm.
didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, but I had the time if somebody would have just pointed me in the right direction, and someone did, and look at me now. So I pay it forward in that way. If you were to, so again, if you want to reach out to me and just say, listen, I want to do it myself. I just need to know, what is it to do. I will give you all the directions as quickly as I can and as detailed as I can to tell you these are some steps that I would take. However, I made a lot of mistakes. When people are paying to work with me, they're paying for the expertise because I've made the mistakes that I don't need to make on your book. I have done a lot of the things that I don't want you to go through. You're just getting the benefit of all the money that I wasted and spent, the tears that I cried, my illustration, frustration. I went through a lot of things. However, there are some people who want to get out there and make those, bumps and scrapes for themselves. So I'm not going to hoard this knowledge. I'm going to tell you everything that I can tell you, and we can have a conversation, and I'll send you on your way, and you'll come back and let me know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Now, I will say this. I have had people try to juice me, and I'm not here for that. We can have the conversation. I will give you information and tell you certain things. But you're not going to get my services without paying, which is every
Yeah.
step that you do. You call me, I'll say, okay, what do I do at this step? And then I'm walking, I'm not doing that.
No. You were born at night, but not last
Yeah,
night, so the concept.
because at that
Yes.
point, I'm just as frustrated as you are. I'm walking you through the frustration. I'm going back and telling you how to correct your error. If you're going to do it yourself, you're going to have to learn it just like I did by yourself. But I will tell you where to go. I will tell you where to go and what to do.
Okay, that's good. So you're very open in regards to sharing
Yes.
information,
Yes.
but your time, but time is money too. So if it's to go more in depth in things, of course, people have to pay for your time, and I fully understand that because we all have to eat. We have bills to pay.
Yes.
Um, at times, people will take your kindness for weakness, and that is a major turnoff when it comes to helping people.
And
And you don't want because a few people will try to juice you that you're not going to help out other people who are very genuine in regards to their
and
questions.
and you guys, okay, so just so you know, I didn't mention this, all of my books rhyme. I'm big into poetry, I'm poetic. So this is my rule of thumb. If at any point you feel invested, they need to make an investment. That's what I try to tell you. So if you're just talking to somebody, you're just giving away information, and you don't care which way, if you know their project turns out to a degree, you haven't invested anything, it's not taxing you. I think that that's something you give for free. The moment that you feel invested, the moment that you feel, oh my gosh, I feel bad if this goes this way or that way, I feel the need to keep going, then they need to make an investment. So I just try to keep that, as soon as when my conversation with somebody goes from me feeling like I'm just talking to you to it being invested, you need to make an investment. That's how I keep that. So it's just something to pass along to other entrepreneurs starting it off as well.
Very smart. No, that's logical and it's understandable because then you're going to be putting in more time. And like I said
Yes.
before, time is money.
Yes. Yes.
So, not all the gems are free.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's good to know because yeah, I am along with everything else that I like to do, Marsha and Dee and everybody will tell you, like I am a serial crafter, a serial craftpreneur. But there are other things that I do. I do poetry too. I do writing. I do a bunch of different things. I went to school for that stuff. And I think as we get older, probably one of the reasons why you have so many new clients too is I think as we get older too, we want to put our experience um, on paper, something to pass down to the younger generations because it's stuff that we've gone through, sort of thing. And then myself as a parent, I wish I had done the book earlier for my son who's now going to be 17, but I have a little niece who's only going to be 4. And I have 10 godchildren. So there are a bunch of things that I would like to share with them at a understanding level for them and
Yes.
through my books and through writing and stuff like that. So there was a reason why I found you at this point in time in my life,
Yes.
because now it's to take the stuff out of the portfolio, blow off all that dust from 1990 and get cracking.
Yes, and to be honest, you hit the nail on the head. Like I had, and I'm inundated right now for me, which is why I'm stretching myself with clients, because there are so many more parents and grandparents who did not have the opportunity to see representation and then see them themselves. They didn't get to be a part of a lot of legacy. And legacy is very important. And so being tied to the community, my family is deeply rooted in the community where I'm from, which is Miami. And being rooted in churches and all kind of stuff, as soon as I started to do this, my community that champions me were so excited. They supported me, which is why I had that first big push. And then when I started saying, hey, I can do this for others, they lined up. Like I couldn't, of people who were like, I love you, I trust you, I saw you grow up, and now that you're saying you're going to offer this opportunity for my fawn, my grandkids to see themselves, to teach them to fall in love with reading because they're reading their own book, for them to be championing their own book versus video games, which I'm all about. I'm not against them, but just versus other things and other cartoons that aren't about them. How do I sign up? How do I do this? And so that was just a gift, and it's just been a blessing. And so that's why I said I do not have any problem sharing this, because I can't tell all the stories. I can't help all the people. So I would love to help people do this. And I am going to start training a few people that are in my network to do this so that I can expand to, like, it's moving fast. So I definitely want to champion and also push out the idea of, if this is your passion, whether it's crafting or whatever, people can see themselves in their projects and the things that they make. Representation right now is huge. So take advantage of that and start to rally your community around you, not just because you want them to hold you up for other people to see you, but you want to show them, because the higher you hold me up, the more of that light I can bring back down to us. I can use my talents in my community. I'm going to make the prices where you can reach them. I'm going to meet you where you are the best I can, because I'm not saying sell yourself short, but
Hmm.
also get that out there. And I promise you, people will champion you left and right, because they get to see, and representation becomes bigger than just them seeing their culture. It becomes them seeing themselves, their last names, their stories being
Yeah.
told, and other people around the world can buy them. So I just really, really, really want to give as much information as I can, share as many things as I can. But more than anything, and then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you ask me a question. As we do this though, do not be afraid to fail. That was the first thing. I rejected so many people at first because I was like, whoa, I'm just starting. I'm not telling you anything. I don't want to be wrong. Listen, jump, go, do your thing. Like, if people say they want to help you, it's no different from copying the paper in school. I'm not guaranteeing you my answers are right. I'm just saying I studied. So if you
Like
did
that.
it, you got a better chance with me than you did it by yourself. That's it.
I like that. I like, yeah.
So please, I just want to encourage everybody. I'm not saying lead people down the road and give them false promises. Be open and
Hmm.
honest about I promise you, I have been more honest about where I am in this journey. And I feel like people want to stuff their money in my pockets faster because they feel like
Yes.
I'm honest. It's, who knew that being honest was the quickest, get rich quick scheme there was?
Because you know what? We've seen so many shysters and so many just shady people making such quick money, but their money doesn't last. The same way they got it quick is the same way they lose it quick. Whereas being honest and open, which I've learned also, instead of taking the shortcut when I was teaching one-on-one crafting classes, I learned that I don't have to hide my mistakes. The people like to see the good, the bad, the ugly. They like to see you make mistakes because they can learn how to fix the error because you're human. You've done it. They're more than likely going to make the same mistake. And then they won't have to feel so bad knowing that even their instructor. I remember I went to fashion school and I learned how to make using a sewing machine. I was very intimidated because it was always my fear of the needle going through your fingernail. Now, I was raised around sewing machine. My mother always made my clothes. I went to this school and I told my teacher that fear, and he showed me his thumb. The amount of holes and bruises he had, because as he was teaching, he's not paying attention 100%. But it's gross to say, but it did take away some of my fear to know that yes, it's possible, it can happen, you will survive it. But even the teacher themselves, they make mistakes. Now then you have the profession, like the perfectionist ones that intimidate you. If you make one mistake, you don't want to say anything because you're going to feel this big, or they might make you feel stupid, or you might assume that they're going to make you feel stupid, sort of thing. So it keeps you in that box of insecurity. So to know that it's okay if we fail, because that's the only way you're going to grow. It's the only way you're going to learn. And to know that you've taken the steps to do basically everything, if not almost everything, to get to where you are right now, and you're willing to share with people, that for me is, I'd rather work with you in that regards than to hold it to myself and say, no, I'm going to do it myself. Let me just ask you a few questions, but I want to do it myself. You've done all that. I want to work smarter, not harder. So I'd rather just come to you directly and say,
Yes.
let's have it at her.
Yes. And I will say this, I have been so, I can't explain the amount of blessed that I've been because I've been open and honest. I'll give you an example. When I first wanted to join YouTube, I was just putting out YouTube videos, and because I didn't know how to edit, I was like, every YouTube video I get is going to be first cut because I don't know how to edit. But I knew I wanted to be on YouTube, and I wanted to have, say something. And as I was helping people, and I was helping someone else who wanted to do public speaking and getting in front of people, and they were just nervous, I would get on the Zoom with them and they would just go back and forth with me. And I would say, okay, let's look at that one. How do you feel? Just for fun. I'm all about that kind of thing. And because I was helping them with that, they started editing it and they sent it back to me. And it was like, I'm not going to lie, I was nervous to just look at it as it was. So I sent you all of, the edits. And I saw the edits and I'm like, that's awesome. What is that? And they were like, oh, that's just editing. I love editing. They're like, I just don't like to talk in front of people. I'm like, I don't know how to edit. Can you edit my stuff? And so I got an editor from doing that, and with videos and all kind of stuff. And just because they were willing to help me, but I also did something else for them. We did certain things and we got some great takes, but that person, and I'm going to give away, I think is a free gem for anybody else that might be interested in this. For the business that they were doing, they just don't want to be an in the camera person. They're not. So we started talking and I said, they helped me create dough. There's so much behind this. But I said, what if then you created your own signature animated character to represent your brand? A signature animated character is never going to be late. They're never going to say what you don't tell it to say. They're never going to have an opinion or disagree with you. They're never going to show up to work inebriated from the night before. Their life is whatever you make it. However, they are your face, your brand, what you want your crowd to, is someone for your crowd to connect with. You're the soul behind it, but your face doesn't have to be there. And you're great with animating. Why wouldn't you create yourself a character? When I say, and I won't expose them because they do something totally different from what I do, they were so happy. And that little character that we dreamed up together now has its own page. That's who you talk to when people for that brand are looking for that product. They're not even looking for a person, and that has made them so happy. However, on the back end, they're willing to do any and everything for me. So there's some stuff that hasn't come out yet. But when I'm able to say that I have things edited, they're like, who did this for you? I don't know what price to tell you because I got this because I was a blessing to them. And they're like, because of what you've done for me, you don't got to worry about it. But that comes from saying, I'm going to be open and honest. That was my whole point in that story. Is saying, if you have a gift with people and you have things you want to do, link with people, network with them, and you don't have to lead with your price tag all the time, especially if you are not established, because the more established you become, the louder your brand is. It will start to establish a name on its own. People will start to look at you and know in advance she's going to cost. So when they step to you, they're going to come to you with that. But as you are meeting people at your own level, well, as you are meeting people, as you are networking and building your brand, see if you can barter gifts. See if you can exchange and say, hey, this is what I'm good at, what I'm trying to do. What can I offer you? How can we work together? This is the budget I have to work with regardless. And a lot of times when you come out and you're meeting people like that, if they don't have the time, they'll say, based on your budget, and I get where you're coming from, let me read you to the right resources. Let me give
Yes.
you some ideas here. And so understand that timing and money literally just pays for experience. That's what money does.
Yeah.
So the less money you have, the more time you're going to have to spend on YouTube, the more time you're going to have to spend self-teaching. You see what that's what you're
Mhm.
exchanging for that. So don't feel overwhelmed or that, oh my gosh, I have this and nobody's ever going to work with me because I don't have a big budget or a budget at all. No, then you need to be shopping for resources versus actual work at this time. That's all that is. But if you have a dream and something you want to do, go for it. Still put yourself out there. Still let people know that's what you're looking for. And the more you make it clear about what you are looking for and what you are a resource for, that those type of things are what will come to you. So just be genuine and know yourself and know what you're trying to do. And I think that all things will open up to you easily.
Like for me, in regards to the networking, I 100% agree. That is a major key, no matter what business you're in. Um, Also, when you say in regards to not expecting to exchange coins at the beginning,
Right.
barter system for me works like 85% of the time. I'm not going to say 100 or 95, but 85% of the time, I barter quite a bit of things because yes, I can pay for something and I get what I've paid for. But that's it. I got what I paid for. When you barter, you're getting not only what you're searching for to a certain degree, but you're getting a connection. It's the connection I'm looking for. Because that money exchange, okay, you have a service or a product, I've paid you, we're done, we go about our business. If I'm bartering with you, I'm working with you, I'm forming that connection, that trust, because I'm doing something for you, you're doing something for me. There's no money exchange in that regards. So there's actually a level of trust there that you have to build. And the connections from bartering, for me personally, they last a lifetime. Like I have some clients I've done stuff for and we've never exchanged a dollar. because we've been able to fill in gaps for each other. Now, if we just did our initial, what is it? Not altercation, um,
Interaction.
transaction. Yeah, interaction or transaction. If we did that initial one where I'm paying or that person's paying me, we would have not seen each other after that. But
Right.
now we've formed a friendship after that because of the
Right.
bartering system. And I got to know her, she got to know me. And then there's at times where I'll think about something and be like, oh, Sabrina would probably like this. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina from Jack before. I was just dealing with her in regards to a business transaction. Now we've been friends probably 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, networking is key for basically everything. When it
Yes.
comes to business, networking is what you want. And then also, depending on your business and on the services that you offer, you don't want that one-time transaction, depending on what it is that you're doing. I like repeat business.
Well, and
I need,
so
mhm,
and you're like hitting it on the head. So a lot of repeat business is going to come from branding.
yep,
And what your brand does is it's a promise that you make to whoever your clientele is about what you deliver. And as long as you don't break your brand promise, you will see repeat business. So I think that I was so excited you said that, because that's something that we all need to think about. Like for you, your brand is, Precious. That's your name, but your brand is your promise to say, as long as it's paper, I tell you I sell it, it is going to be at this level. That is what,
yep,
if you tell me this is the level that I sell, and you have all these beautiful examples, when I go through your Instagram, I'm now buying into your brand promise. I know that if I shop where this name is and you are the creator, this is what I'm going to get. And as long as that's what I'm interested in, I'm going to have the experience with you. I'm going to get the product. I'm going to enjoy it. And because it follows through what you told me when I first saw it, the moment I'm looking for that resource again, I'm going to go to you because I've already experienced your brand promise. I liked it. And as long as every time I shop with you, I have that experience, I will return and I will tell other people about it. But if I go to you one time though, and it's not a great experience and I'm not able to contact you, I'm not able to tell you. Now when I look at your Instagram and it was promising all these things, it's like, that's not consistent. She was okay, but you're probably
yeah.
better off for going here, because this is this is what you're going to get. So I'm saying that to say, everyone, please, whatever it is that you are networking for and whatever it is you want to be out there known for and a barter with, know that business and be able to deliver consistently on whatever it is you're offering. That is going to be key to repeat business, to establishing a brand, to establishing a name that will precede you and get you into homes that you may never physically walk into. And that's the goal for all of us as entrepreneurs.
Well,
So
one thing I've heard too is you also want people to be speaking about you even when you're not in the room. And that
yes,
was always one of my main goals.
yes.
Like somebody will say, "Yeah, I was on this live and somebody mentioned you." Okay, but I'm not even following that person and that person's not even following me, but they must have heard about me from somewhere for
Mm-hmm.
them to mention me in their live to other people, and then my followers go up by 10.
Yes.
So that's what you need. That's what you need. You need for your brand is a representation of you, but not
Yes.
only just the aesthetic part of you.
Right.
You want it to embody everything that you are, and you want to be able to stand behind your brand. Because, like you said, word of mouth is just by us connecting. I
Yes.
had like two or three other authors send me some DMs. Yeah, Dahlia Deering is following you, and blah blah blah. And I checked out your stuff. I'm like, oh, okay.
Awesome.
One lady
Awesome.
she's in Trinidad.
Yes. Yes. I know it's Hazel. I know
Yes,
it.
it's Hazel.
Yes.
Hazel got in touch with me, so I was like,
I'm so
okay,
happy. I'm so happy. Oh,
yeah,
you're gonna work with. Oh, it's gonna be great. I know it's
yeah.
gonna be great.
So we're going to be taking steps shortly to be doing some stuff too. But yeah, it's just I'm old school. I'm about word of mouth. I'm about repeat business and about the networking. And I'm trying to incorporate that not only in just the business side of my life, but also just in personal side too, because you don't have to only barter when it comes to business. You can barter for everyday things. Like if I can't take my son somewhere, somebody will drive him, but there'll be another time where you might need me to do something for you. So it's not they're life tools, not just business tools.
and
They're
and
life tools.
and they are, and I promise you it has, and this is why I've chosen branding as something that I definitely want to attach to, because it changed my life when
Mhm.
I really figured out, because there's so many of us who have a children's book, or we have a craft business, or but we haven't figured out what is our message and what it is that we're offering. And a lot
Yeah.
of times we get frustrated. You're like, what do you mean? What is my message? I got a children's book. I wrote about this. This is what I'm offering. I want people to buy it. And it's like, okay, but you're going to have to make that value, help them make an emotional decision to convert monetarily for you. So it can't just be, I wrote a book, buy it. Who are you? Why do I want to
Mhm.
invest in you? What is it that you are representing? I wrote a book about sharing because my son couldn't share, and I wanted to talk about that and spend that with other parents. Okay, we're getting closer, but I have a son that doesn't share too. They normally don't share around that time. So what more you got? So these are the things that I'm asking, because I want people to realize you need to learn what your core message is and what it is that you're doing for others. For me, I knew just writing books, no matter how great I may have thought they were, wasn't going to do anything until I started to tell people exactly what they represented and how did that help them. I wanted to help all children around the world deal with self acceptance and self love. That is a bigger thing. That's a bigger field. And you're saying, okay, how are you doing that? I'm doing that through my books, but I'm also going to network with other people and other causes that speak to that. And I'm also trying to be a vendor to speak with them, trying to connect again, because I believe this message. When you're on my page, I want to post things that enforce that. When you're on my page, if you're asking me for help, or if it's something that has to do with that, I'm going to keep putting information out about that, because that's the core message of my company. I'm giving more to you than just the book. Most of the times for the book that I've sold, I want you to know people buy my books because it is the first form of support they can give to me. It's not
Yeah.
the book that necessarily captivated them, but it's because of how I speak. It is because of what I'm giving them. It is because the cause that I'm saying I'm for. They can tell I'm passionate about that, and I'm researching it, and I'm putting that out there outside of just the product. And they say to themselves, "This is someone that I can get behind. This is a brand I can get behind. I want to support it. I'm going to buy these books." Then the product's great, and they say, "Okay, I'm going to tell more people." So I'm saying that to say for everyone else, it's no different with you. I heard you get on and you said you were doing paper crafts. A lot of people do crafts, but the way you spoke about crafts, I could tell you've been doing it for a while. The crafts you put out, oh my gosh, I've never seen those done by hand. And I've met the person. It's normally something you see in a store or something. So when I looked, I was like, okay, her product's awesome. And then you started to talk about it. You have a show about that weekly where you discuss, crafts. You introduce people in the world of crafts. You're big on networking and saying, hey, when you met me, you were like, I don't do resin, but if that's what you want, I have people in my network that do that. This is somebody I can get behind. You're offering me more than just the bookmark. You're offering me knowledge. You're offering me a network. You're saying, if this is something that you want to do and customize the world of your books, I can help you bring that to life on multiple levels. Do you see what I'm saying? So my
Yeah.
goal for everybody on here is, if you are a business owner and there is something that you do, it has to be bigger than just your product, because until your product and your brand is big enough to speak for itself, all it has is you. You're going to have to represent that. You're going to have to network in that area, in that niche. You're going to have to constantly put forth the image that this is something you know about, so that you can attract more people who are looking to use that industry's resources. You want to come across as the top industry leader, and a lot of times that doesn't mean that you have to do a whole, be an industry leader. Most of the time it's just you have to be professional. You have to
Yep.
show that you know what you're doing, and there's so many keys to doing that. Sometimes just educating your crowd or your network on what you do will help you put yourself in their mind as an industry leader. It's one thing when I go to somebody for crafts and they tell me, okay, this is, you want to buy a business card. You hear business cards. I do business cards. It's another thing when I go to them and they say, hey, this is cardstock. This is laminated. We actually do a digital business card, and I actually have a list for that. And let me tell you how to shop for one and what the prices should be and why. And when I'm going to a page and they just keep explaining me basic things that I don't even know about, I think to myself, this person is really in this industry. As far as I know in my network, that's the industry leader I know of. That's you know more, you know the most I know about business cards and things. You become who I come to for that, and then I tell other people, and then you grow in that regard. So I just want to, I'm out here, I'm just giving out information because I just want people to know I believe in everyone. I think that anything that you're doing can go and be big, but you're going to have to start to put that love and energy into it consistently and show the world consistently that this is what I do. This is what you should come to me for.
Yeah, it's the passion. When
Yes.
when a bunch of us, like Marsha talks about her waist beads, or Dee talks about her diamond painting, there's a passion behind it. Because for me, okay, it's crafting. Crafting is therapy, but there are children. Crafting for me, just the crafting in general, when I'm making something, there's an attachment to every card I've ever made, to every sticker I've ever cut, to
Oh.
every bookmark I've ever laminated. It's a part of me that's gone into that craft that is now in somebody else's home.
Oh.
So therefore, we take this stuff very personally in regards to the excellence that we put behind it, the passion we put into it, and then the knowledge and it's more than money when we actually sell it or give it away or whatever. It's a forever connection with whomever has taken a class with me or who's
Mm-hmm.
ever bought a product from me. That for me is one of the things I try to put into my business. Before it was just about the money. Oh, you need bookmarks? How many do you need? When do you need them by? Okay, send me the money. Then they're done. And I've done a billion and one crafts, the girls can tell you. I fell out of love with a lot of them because it became only about the money.
Yes.
There was no passion behind it. It was just, okay, okay, if I sell 300 cupcakes, I can pay this bill, that bill, the other bill. It was no longer any fun. The paper crafting will forever have my heart because you can do whatever it is that you need for every and any occasion. And the stuff that I do, and there's also LB, she's a lady in Barbados. She's also a paper crafter. She makes some beautiful cards. We know that our cards, unlike a Hallmark card where somebody will buy it and put it in a drawer after, our cards, our paper crafts are works of art. And you can see the time and the passion and the love that's put into them. So for people doing different things, be it a service or a product, know that the way that you present your products, the way that you present your service and yourself in general, that is marketing as well. It's not just the business card or your banners or your social media. It's the actual way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you speak about what you do. People will know if you're just in it for the money.
Yes.
It's not hard to tell if somebody's in it just for the money. There are a billion, like I've never seen so many coaching people for everything in my whole life. Like I've never, ever, ever seen so many coaches. Like we had Mr. Robbins or whoever his name was back in the day. But now there's a coach for everything and anything that you can think about. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just people now are taking what they've learned or what they self-taught and they want to share it. But you can tell which ones are only about the money and the other ones who are actually putting their heart into it and they want to see you succeed. They're not just going to try to sell you a book, a lesson, a course, a course, a course. They follow up with you. They do the daily check-ins and they hold you accountable. Like that for me is like when you're speaking about it, I feel the passion about your service. I feel that this is what you honestly are meant to be doing, and that you're not about the end dollar. You want
No.
to make sure whoever you're helping out is a success.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to connect with you later on, and also people who are going to watch the replay. Don't be surprised if your DMs are going to start getting full again.
Yes. And I don't
Because
and I answer. I answer because
yes, you do.
I learned that the moment that I opened my palm, my hand started to fill. With a closed fist, nothing gets out. but nothing gets in.
So,
And I started with nothing in the first place. So no one was losing but me.
yep.
So I am open. I am full of sharing knowledge. It's so many things. People are like, I can't believe you're telling people this for free. Don't make me no never mind. I'm gonna like God has shown me over and over again in the past 6 months specifically, it's nothing he's not gonna give me. There's nowhere
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go. There's no opportunity I'm not gonna get. So the best I can do is pay this forward. Like I am literally, I feel like I am digging big shovels of like help and love and throwing it out there. And I'm getting tired and rested and doing it every day because I realize when I see what is already reserved for me, I can't even enjoy this all by myself.
No,
Like
and you're not
so
meant to.
so I
Not meant
want
to.
to help. Like how can I help you? Like as long as like I said, as long as I'm doing it when I don't feel invested, I don't
Yes.
mind. But the moment I start to feel invested, I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you, you need to make an investment. Like
Yeah.
this is where we got it because you're asking for way more of my time than I actually have. So I had to get professional too. And that's another thing, guys. Don't be scared of the fact because I was terrified, if I was honest. Don't get scared when your business forces you to get professional. It is a very scary feeling. When I started to realize that I was growing big enough to where I had to have client hours, where I had to block out my schedule for clients, that was scary. Because
Yeah.
I was still at the point within myself where I'm like, who am I? Like, why am I so special? Like, who told me? And I was going through all the reasons why I shouldn't. And then at the end of the day, after I did all that, I still wasted that time. Still had to block out the client hours. Like, it still had
Girl,
to
I
get done.
know. I know. I was doing the one-on-one class and I'm saying, okay, whatever day and time works for you. Also, you want Sunday at 9:30 p.m.? Oh, not Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time it was, it'd be like 11:30, 12 o'clock my time, but it fit their schedule on a Sunday. I couldn't say no. And then I realized that there's like no, for me, I'm not going to lie, is one of my favorite words. It's a paragraph, it's a whole novel, just those two letters are freeing. And at the same time, too, it shows that you have respect for yourself. And therefore, you're not asking for the respect. You're demanding that the people respect your time limit, and also to the limit of which you're willing to give stuff for free. And just limits in general, because people's sense of entitlement is big within certain communities, and then just people don't, they hear the word no, but they don't listen to it, sort of thing. So that's another thing that would turn people off from doing certain services or certain
Mhm.
projects, because just people are in their own world. They're very narcissistic when it comes to certain things, and a lot of people on this planet do not understand the definition of the word no.
Yes.
So when you are that strict within yourself and you understand, okay, I'm Monday to Friday, 10 until 5. Don't be calling me on no Saturday. Don't be calling me no Sunday. These are my open hours. It took me so long. I felt so bad. The guilt monster was on my back. But when you break through that, it is freeing. It is
Yes, it is, but also you soar professionally as well because
that's
now
it.
that they're adhering to professional hours that you give them, and even if your hours are 3 in the morning, I'm not talking about the actual hour for those of you who those are your professional hours for whatever
Yeah.
reason. What I'm saying is you need to schedule them in advance and you need to be
Mhm.
clear about what it is. When you do that, I started to know, hey, and then everybody else in my household, it changes your life. Everyone else in my household was able to see, hey, between these hours and these hours, this is when she's busy. I just had in-laws in town and they knew before they got here, hey, she's got this live, this client meeting, this, and when she's in the studio based on where it is in my house right now, everybody in the house already naturally quieted down because they knew this is when I was free for that. The world stopped calling me, people stopped needing me during because I had already made it clear that my time would be dedicated to you. In
Yeah.
addition, I had time to prepare for our meetings. I'm not scrambling because you called a meeting at the last minute, pushed it back 30 minutes and now I'm trying to stop whatever I had planned to join there. I'm on the live catch up cross here because I tried to grab a bite to eat, and I'm trying to give you as much. Not my mind is scrambled.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to meet you now because
Oh,
we were so unprofessional about scheduling the time. People don't
yeah.
realize just because things get you've seen things and they're in your mind, that doesn't mean they're at the forefront. So you've
No.
got to condition yourself every time that you're going to speak on your craft, that you're going to get into a certain mode to deliver exactly what it is that you have. Again, we're going back to that brand promise. You've brand promised anybody who's using you as a resource for your gifts. So
Yeah.
take that time, decide within yourself, hey, this is the time that I can do this with you, and be ready, be prepared. And I promise you, you will be so much more successful in those meetings than the fly by night, spur of the moment, catching you when your mindset is somewhere else, trying to meet with someone.
Now, what I find funny is that when our children are young, even up until teenage years, we are so, not I won't say meticulous because we do mess up, but we have a more of a set mindset in regards to keeping our kids on schedule. You have football, you have basketball, you have ballet, you have judo, we have this music thing, this recital over here, bam, 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 bam. When it comes to ourselves and our businesses, or even just personal time in general, we are helter skelter, and it's ridiculous. What I've learned is that when my son was younger, we didn't so much have a routine or a regiment, but certain things were structured. I just migrated that as my son became more independent and put that into Precious Delights because it made sense. Like I know every Sunday I'm here, every Wednesday I'm with Marcia and Dee. Then in the Facebook groups that I moderate and I admin, there's certain days that I will do lives there. And it's made life so much more easier than to try to figure out, oh my goodness, what am I going to do there, here? What am I going to do there? What day is it today? What time is it? Oh my goodness, like I have 2 minutes before I come on live. Like you said, let me take a bite of the sandwich, take that grease off my face. It makes life easier when you have that structure. And then you also look professional, and then you're putting a seal of security on your services and your products when people can see that you have that structure, because you don't know what's happening with your clients' lives. Maybe their lives are helter skelter, and then they want to deal with somebody who has more of a precise routine or a schedule, or they're structured in that regards. Like I couldn't deal with somebody. You're fine if you have 6, 7, 12 children and you're doing whatever you need to do, but when it comes to business, if we say we're meeting Tuesday at 12 o'clock, when your kids get sick or whatever, I understand that. I'm your parent. I'm a parent also. So when 12 o'clock comes, you could have called me 2 minutes before, 5 minutes before to say, can we reschedule? Don't call me at 12:30, say, oops, I forgot, blah, blah, blah. Because I do understand there's life, but there's also business. And if you've
Mm-hmm.
scheduled
Mm-hmm.
my time, I cannot get back. Waste my food, waste my money, never waste my time. Never, ever waste my time.
I like
Because
that.
what's going to happen is that I'm not going to reschedule again. I can't, because it's going to happen again and again. When you allow that to happen once, it becomes something that people just find habitually okay to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they start taking your kindness for weakness.
Yes.
So structure is very important.
Yes.
Networking structure,
Yes.
accountability, consistency.
Yes.
That's,
Consistency. Listen.
girl, I've learned that one is serious. That's cement. That's a foundation. Consistency is an equivalent to trust and respect. That consistency. Because when you're consistent in your work and in your doing of things, you build people's trust and you get their respect.
Yes.
I've learned that seriously. I've learned that the hard way.
And consistency creates clarity too. That's
Yes.
I promise you. I think that over time, I love to use this example because I'm from Florida, but over time we have learned that when a tree blooms and it has an orange on it, we have learned that once you see one orange, you know that going forward when that tree blooms, what is it going to have? Oranges. It's an orange tree. There's never going to be a time you're going to go to that same tree and it's going to give you apples. That's not how trees work. And I
No.
think that we've realized that over time, after trees have consistently shown us, whatever fruit I bear, I bear. And that's it. Even the Bible, you can tell what type of tree it is based on the fruit it bears. It's consistent. I love that example because I want people to know it is important that you are consistent so people know what type of fruit you bear. They know that when they're looking for this type of fruit, they need to come to you. But if you're so busy trying to impersonate this person, that person, you confuse your target audience. You
Yep.
make it seem like they can come and potentially get this one from you, get the maybe the, and you're never going to get your true target audience. You're never going to get the cream of the crop of your target audience because you have not learned to specialize and be consistent in whatever it is that you are offering. So consistency creates clarity. It makes it clear to everyone around you what it is you do. And going forward, after a while, people realize, hey, I'm not going to go to that tree for apples if I know it's an orange tree. So the only people that come to you are people who want orange juice. And you're in a great position because you can supply that. So a lot of times people say, put out good vibes and the universe will give it back to you. Yes, but to me, I'm thinking it's because you start to be clear and tell the universe what it is that you want. And based on what I want, this is the opportunity I'm prepared for. There are so many of us with these $1 million desires, but we're not prepared to make 50 if the opportunity came. What is it that
Yes.
you want? Ask yourself, what is it that you do? And if you want something big, when the moment comes, be prepared. Because you're not going to know when that opportunity comes. Every millionaire that I study, because I study a lot of them, because that's where my head is. That's what I want. So those are the people I follow and study. Each of them said when their big break happened, when they went viral for some, when whatever it is that they had been trying forever finally worked, whatever it was, they were prepared for that opportunity when it hit them. There's a lot of people who do a lot of who speak, and they tell you there's been multiple opportunities they missed because they were not prepared for it, and they didn't get prepared for it because their faith didn't match what they were asking for. They kept saying, well, I really want to do this, but it's not coming tomorrow. I've got time to do that. And they were very slouchy. They weren't really consistent. And just like that, the opportunity came and it
They
passed.
weren't
Oh,
ready.
they were not ready. And so I heard that, consistently enough. And I started to think to myself, I'm looking at my vision board of all the things I'm asking for. And I start to go through and I ask myself, are you prepared for that? If somebody offered you that money right now, you're saying you want it for that. Do you know how to allocate that to get that result?
Nope. Majority of people have no clue.
I started to
Well,
research it after
I
that.
like what you said. Like, people want to be a millionaire, but they will turn away that first $50. That $50 could be your seed to get to that million. But then there's another side to that too. And I think I fall more. I don't know if we had this conversation, but I fall more into the category of sometimes, like, I know that I'm capable of doing everything and anything, be it whatever craft. Doesn't have to just be paper. I know because I basically probably have done everything. But my biggest fear or setback is I am afraid of my success. I see the success. I know exactly where I can be. But see, I'm not that type of person. I don't want to be in survival mode. I want to live. I want to live comfortably. I want to be successful, but at my level of success, not the type where I'm doing talk shows or on radio stations or having a storefront, but I know I can do it. I'm afraid of that success because I'm such a private person. Now, not to say that I can't reach that success and still be private. There are stars out there, actors, musicians, and whatever else who they do their show and then they live their private life. It is doable. So for some reason, that's my hindrance. I know I can see the success. My son even asked me the other day, like, am I afraid of it? I'm like, I am to a certain degree because we like our privacy. What if I become successful, but my son doesn't want to be in the spotlight? Because I've been on radio, I've been on TV. I got that spotlight because I used to run a food bank and we had issues or whatever. So as the manager, as a director of a food bank, you have to go out there and you have to schmooze and you have to, try to get donors or whatever else. I didn't like that. I didn't like that spotlight because it put it on my son. So like now I have to sit down with myself and say, what is it exactly that's keeping me back from reaching where I know I can go? I'm here every Sunday. I'm on Instagram on every Wednesday. People are starting to notice me. Now, Is it going to get to the point where I'm going to run away, or am I going to continue going forward? That's a major question for me almost every week. So I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that kind of fear mode.
So
So it's not so much that people are afraid of, like they don't want, they're turning away that $50 and they're not going to ever get that million. It's also that slight fear of their own success.
it,
For that, what would you suggest?
So here's what I would do, because this is what I'm doing, because I'm, believe it or not, going through the same thing as you. I've had,
Okay.
and I don't speak about it because I feel like it comes with it, but since I have been putting myself out there, getting noticed from the books, from making speeches when I do in public, I've had some strange things happen to me. What I am doing, because I know that I'm headed for that. Number one, the people in my life, especially who I live with, they know like, hey, this is a part of what's going to come with me doing this. This is what is happening. I also now have to be more preventative. So the things that I know I really don't want, I've put a lot of things in place to help me as I go so that I can try to prepare for these things. I've had to stop some of my interactions with people in person because I realized, okay, this is being taken further than I wanted. I've been followed home. Girl, there's been, yes. So after that, the person I live with put some things in place as well. But immediately
What?
he
Are you
made sure
okay?
he was like, yeah, we're gonna have something else in place as well. If that's what, but
Yes, bravo.
but I learned as I'm out and I'm meeting people and they recognize me, I'm being consistent and I'm making speeches. There's certain things that I now know I can't do in certain settings for myself. There's certain
Okay.
conversations I can't get as deep because I'm very passionate. I hug and we can talk because I really want you to win. But there's a lot of people that you learn everybody can't handle that. Everybody you can't do that with. And when it's time, when you've been paid to do something and speak and be somewhere, you gotta learn not to be as accessible. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta cut that off. Because that's where
Oh,
it comes from. So I would say for you, for the things that you're worried about now, number one, be fair and prepared with anybody that lives with you, if it's your son or whoever, and make sure they're involved with the lifestyle that you're bringing on because you're right, it does affect them. You can't hide them. It comes with that. Number two, you start to, as these little incidents happen and you see how they got in, start to ask yourself, okay, what is the best safety I can put in place here? Because accepting your mind, just like I have, we're gonna, even though I heard you talking the whole time about not, I'm like, this lady is finna be big. I don't know why she over here talking about, I'm like, I hope God ignoring her like I am. But like, but, but what you gotta do is as it comes, and you see the instances, you say, okay, I don't like this. I don't like how this happened. What is the best way for me to avoid this? And maybe right now, until I have the means to put some of the safety I really want to put in place, I don't take these type of opportunities right now. Maybe I
yeah.
don't do, and you pray about it or research with whoever it is that you're reaching out to and say, this is the decision I want to go with because this, and this. And I truly believe that the right answer for protection gets laid in front of you. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it's been
Yeah.
happening for me because I have had some situations where I was like, I did not see that coming. And I discussed it with the person I live with because he knows he's a part of this. He's been a part of the journey. And he let me know, I know that you love reaching people, but this is something I'm going to have to ask you until we're in a position where I can better feel safe about you doing this. I don't want you taking these type of gigs when I'm not here. I don't want you doing certain things by yourself. And you have to be able to give that. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And make
Yeah.
those decisions. And then you start to talk to the people who, if you keep getting the invitation and say, hey, you really want me? Here are the things that I need. And so that's how you start to develop as it comes. And you don't have to feel like you're huge. It doesn't, but you know that these things on your level are your boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that for all of us, we start to do that. I know Lipstick by Imani was in here and her
Hmm.
block finger is so strong. It is hilarious. She literally patrols, and I learned that from her. If she's on live and it's multiple people, she takes that on as security. She patrols for anything that doesn't look real, and she blocks them, makes it clear. I don't
Yes.
want to interact with you. Don't DM me. Don't DM my friends. Everybody go ahead and let's block this person together. Like she's very like, but
Oh,
it
I like
works.
that.
But it works because I did not know, and I saw, unfortunately, I witnessed this with somebody else's live. You can get on live with certain people and they'll get on there and they're touching themselves, they're doing things, and that ruins your whole video because they,
Yes.
and so these are just,
Yes.
I'm just saying, along with that whole, you just start to learn the business and say, okay, now that I saw that, how do I protect myself from that? I always let anybody who requests come on. I always let anybody who wants to follow. And I had to learn, like, hey, I've got to be more careful because people are doing things. So I think my answer altogether is just the more you learn about your industry and about your dangers, start to be preventative. Start to ask yourself cost benefit questions based on what could possibly happen and the resources I have to protect myself. Do I continue with this particular resource right now?
Yeah.
And if not, then what else can I do as a stand in for that? You know?
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's all I've been doing, that and praying and asking for guidance and clarity. That's pretty much
Every
how I've
day.
been living.
Every day. Yeah, because I've been asked numerous times to hop on like on a lunchtime live, be with somebody else, or just myself in general, just hop on in general. I'm like, but that's not how I work. I work structured in that regards. I know every Wednesday I'm somewhere, every Sunday I'm somewhere. It gives me the rest of the week to decide whether or not I do want to hop on. But then I'm also in the Facebook groups, which are more sheltered because Instagram lives, it's the world. Your followers are seeing me, my followers are seeing you. Then random people can hop on too if we happen to pop up on their feed or whatever it's called. But on Facebook, when you go live, you're going live within a set group of people.
Oh,
So yeah, it's different. So when I go live, I go randomly on in a Facebook group. Like I can say tomorrow, I can wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? Monday night, I'm going to go live in this group because it's only to those members
okay.
in that group.
Okay.
I won't do that on Instagram. I definitely will not do that on TikTok. TikTok is even more open than Instagram because that's basically what people are there for the lives and whatever else.
Have you ever
Um,
done a TikTok live? Have you ever done one?
I've been on with other people, and that's basically how I started with Instagram, being on with other people. But I've been on lives with other people on TikTok. Um, I don't. It doesn't feel not does it. It doesn't only not feel safe as Instagram, and Instagram is not as safe as Facebook.
I get what
Like
you're
for
saying.
me, the levels is I love going live in Facebook in the groups. I'm nonchalant. I rarely ever show my face. I just start crafting right off the bat. I'm joking around. My dogs are barking. My cats are meowing. Then here on Instagram, it's sort of similar. It's just a bigger platform because, like I said, I have access to your followers, vice versa, and then the randoms. But then on TikTok, it's everybody. Everybody, anybody can jump in your live in the comments or whatever else. It is it's scary on TikTok. That and you it's TikTok is just a rabbit hole of I don't know how I end up on dark TikTok every time I happen to log in. I end up on the far left side somewhere in TikTok that I didn't even know existed. Like some of the freakiest stuff that I don't even know. And then these people can come and see me on live. Nah, I'm good. I'll
No.
hop on somebody else's live where I can just exit. Click, I'm gone. No, TikTok for me is extremely scary. And I want to go on there. I have friends who are making money off of TikTok in regards to going on lives and selling. Me as a Canadian, like I did that, get the 10,000 followers. I did that in a month. I got 10,000 followers in a month on TikTok. Think I can get monetized. Canadians and people in Australia cannot get monetized. So I did all that work for naught because I can't collect.
What?
Yeah. So they're
Now,
kind of
I'm
saying,
gonna ask you a question off live because I got questions. Because I
yeah,
because I feel
I'm here.
like there's ways. Okay, but yeah.
I hustle hard. I think it was November of last year. I just went full force. I had nothing to do with Instagram, Facebook, nothing. It was pure TikTok, morning, noon, and night. In the middle of the night when I went to get up to go to the bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning, I went on TikTok for a little while. Like I was full fledged in it because I wanted to get monetized. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna start getting monetized on YouTube.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. TikTok is, and for them to say I did all that work, and when I went to go do creator account, not available in your location, I went,
Wow.
I cussed everything under the sun and more. I was vexed. Because I still
Oh.
have like 9,000 or whatever followers. But once in a while I post. I do manage other people's social media in regards to Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So I do have other people's TikTok accounts that I will post randomly. Um, but yeah, I get paid mostly to run people's Instagram accounts. I have a couple of clients for that. But yeah, no. YouTube is going to be where that's my next step now. From Instagram, since I've kind of mastered it. Facebook I've enjoyed since whatever, although I do neglect my own Facebook business page.
Me too.
Not good.
I need to work on that.
Yeah, but I don't get that much traffic, or I have no interest in the Facebook business page because I don't make any sales on there. My sales are Instagram, my
Yes.
sales are Etsy, and I'm working on a landing page.
So what happens is I've connected my Instagram to my Facebook, so that way it'll if I post on Instagram, it posts on Facebook. Like
Yes.
it makes it keeps it doing the things.
Yeah.
But I don't interact separately on Facebook like that. And I really do get on myself about it because I'm like, ma'am, you need to, make it move. But what I've learned, and I will say this, I have been really, really, really into following that on what are the so now I can't speak. I have been following people who are big on monetizing social media. So Gary V, if you don't know anything about him, definitely look him up. And just put in Gary and then VEE is V, and he's huge. If you don't know anything about Chris Do is huge. But I would say as I've been learning about these different platforms, they both say, believe it or not, LinkedIn is where you get quick.
Yeah.
Yes. See, somebody watches very Gary V. They're like, LinkedIn is where you really want to start to put your money as you're learning what you're doing. So I'm
Yes.
big on researching to death. So I'm gonna have to watch a few more videos for them, try a few more things. But I think that I'm really gonna start to lean towards the LinkedIn way because apparently that is where lots of money can be made. So don't quote me on that. I told y'all I stole that from people. So,
But that's good. It's
but
good for
yes.
your niche. And that's another thing too we learned because we have a friend, Nessie. She was crafter of all tea. Now she's Dr. Craftology. And she helps crafting businesses work with social media in regards to how to monetize and promote ourselves. And one thing we did learn with her is that you have to find a niche.
Yes. Yes.
They call it niche. It's a niche. C'est en
Yes.
français, c'est un niche. So find your niche. So I'm a paper crafter, but what I do is my paper crafts are mostly 3D and interactive. I do the 2D cards or whatever, but I like my stuff to just have that pop. Now, for LinkedIn would work well for me when it comes to classes or coaching or mentoring. When it comes to the crafting part, Pinterest is the bomb. Pinterest for crafters, you can monetize through Pinterest because people, and you can link your websites and your Etsy to Pinterest. So people will see something that you've posted, they click it or save it, and they go over to Etsy or your website or whatever. You can also connect that with your YouTube. So if you put like a snippet of a tutorial on how to do a craft, then they'll click your link and go to YouTube and watch the video, sort of thing. So for crafters, Pinterest is our LinkedIn. LinkedIn is good for you for your marketing, for the author part, the entrepreneur part, because it's more of that niche. Crafters like me, there's really not too much unless I can get in with an organization that works with children where I can offer like crafting kits or maybe workshops or whatever, but that's very few and far between.
Now,
But Pinterest is awesome.
according to him, it's the ads that you run through LinkedIn for your niche or your business that's going to make your business blow up, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's paid ads.
Yes,
Okay.
that you're going to run through LinkedIn for people, because most people on there are professionals, are already thinking money, they're already thinking spending.
Yes.
So if you are looking to say you do corporate crafting in some sort of
Yes.
way, you would run the ad on the corporate crafts that you offer on LinkedIn, and it would hit the proper need. Do you see what I'm saying? More so
Yes.
that way, and then you get, you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and then you get the one big client, and then it goes from there.
And that's all you
So
need is that one big one just to get your foot in the door. A friend of mine, she does paint nights. And she used to do it like at home or bridal parties or birthday parties or whatever. She no longer does the paint night for, I'm not going to say small events, but she does them now only for corporate parties. And they fly her here and there, whatever, to do paint night. So she has to lug her canvases, her paints, her paint brushes. She teaches the people, they put her back on the plane and she's back home.
yeah.
You know,
So
so for certain things like that, yes, it's very lucrative.
So that
Very.
was something, and I'm only saying that for those of us who run paid ads on Instagram, Facebook, any of those other places. He was like, don't sneeze at LinkedIn as well. They are definitely a resource for it. So I don't know. Like I said, I am learning and I am testing. And that's why it's so important that I do have these clients, because I use my client money to go back into the business. That's why a lot of people, they see you
Smart.
doing this, and they're like, oh my gosh, I bet you're making a lot of money. I am not, because this business is soaking up anything. But I
It will at
love
the
it. I
beginning.
love
It
it.
will at the beginning because you
Yeah.
have to get your feet wet. You have to get in there. You have to establish yourself. And then after that, the money will come in. What does it say? It takes money to make money.
Yes. Oh, for
So,
sure. For
yeah,
sure. Yes.
yeah.
But I love it. I right now I have made a promise to myself. And it can get tiring sometimes, that I don't ever want to be seen for Dahlia Deering or for Fawn Fables. I never want to be seen without my bow or without merch on. So because of
Smart.
that, and I like to have fun and be different, a lot of my funds go towards my merch, go towards my bows. I'm also getting a line of bows made soon. So
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that I want, the money that I make is put aside in my business account to go back in, which is good if you set up your business for the first time, because then you go back and you use it as write-offs, and you go through the process.
Yes.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, right now I love the fact that I'm letting my business grow at its own pace. I'm working really hard to not make it bigger than it can handle, because then it'll bleed over into my personal, which in the beginning it did, because I started it, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to keep living that way. So that was another reason for me creating streams of income from it quick, through knowledge and asking people to pay, so that it can start to stand on its own. Like, it was time for my business to get potty trained quick.
Yeah, because if you didn't do that, eventually that passion would fizzle out, and then
Yes.
the resentment comes in, and then you don't want to do it no more.
Yes. Yes.
I've been
So
through that for many a thing, so I'm happy that you've decided to continue what you're doing and you're growing with it. I see you on the lives. I see you on your live talking with people. So we're all coming out of that little comfortable zone and
yes.
we're flourishing. We're blooming,
Yes. Well,
and it's nice to build a community like this.
but you said it earlier. You dropped all the gems at the beginning of the conversation before I could even say hi. But you were saying so much stuff, I was trying to keep up with you. But you said it earlier. It's you met with me, and some of my people reached out and spoke with you.
Mhm.
I want to tell all business owners, as you're on here, if you are talking to your same audience every day, 9 times out of 10, you have run them dry to a degree. Okay.
Yes.
They are not going to be the reason why you get that big sale and make it to where you're going to be. Not your same audience.
Nope.
So what you need to be doing is being on lives, being featured, featuring other people, being mentioned. These are the things that help your audience grow, so that
Yep.
now when you speak to your audience, when you post today, it doesn't need to be the same audience you post to last week. Do you see what I'm saying? It needs to be people from a lot. That's why a lot of times people ask me, why are you on so many lives? But when I look at my metrics from Instagram, when I look at my sales, I realize every time that I do lives and big things like that, I notice more book sales, I notice more DMs, I notice more clientele. It's because new people are seeing my face. And the more the new people see my face, guess what? People who are following me and getting this for free forever are like, hey, can you do something? I'm like, you an old follower. Like, you could, but that people want to do what is popular. So
Yeah.
I just want to encourage you guys to please, 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 yes, post to your business. Make sure they're clear on what you're doing. I'm not saying not to do that, but you're going to have to start showing up and showing
Yep.
out in other places and any other resource that you can. Just like she said earlier, her name is mentioned in places she's not even in, but that is your goal. That is what you do this for. But it's going to take you having a message. It's going to take you having something that people say, hey, I like when she speaks. She does sell children's books, but she drops other gems. She talks about this. I like her. So if she's going to be somewhere, I want to be there. And it helps other people say, let me tell you about this author that I met. She does this. So find out who it is, who you are, what you offer, and start to spread that everywhere, girl. This is the one place that it's not okay to be monogamous. You
No,
got to get out there. Like,
hustle, hustle, hustle and grind. Like, I was on with Preston and Armand that one time, and then I watch now, and I'll probably go on this Saturday. And then I'll wait another 3 weeks, and then I'll go on another Saturday because they're also building their audience in regards to
they
their
are.
lives on Saturday.
They
So if I
are.
was going on every Saturday, it'd be the same, probably the same people, and maybe one or two new people. So as their numbers are growing, like for example, I started off January 2022 with 4,187 or 89 followers. Today, April 3rd, 2022, I'm at
Awesome.
5,041. From
Awesome.
4,100 and something to
Awesome.
5,041 followers in 3 months.
Yes.
By being on these different lives, by being consistent on Wednesday with
Yes.
Marsha and Dean, and then being consistent. I don't even know when Marsha and Dean and I started. I know we started last year. She said something about November. I can't remember when my first Sundays I started because it just feels so natural.
Yes.
And then now I know, now that we're going into the next quarter of the year, I'm going to now start jumping onto different lives.
Yes.
And then I stop for a while. You disappear for a while, you do your thing. Then you jump back out, you jump onto different lives again, get your face seen, get some new followers. I learned also follow people first. You don't wait for people to follow you.
Yes.
Follow people first, comment on their stuff, like some stuff, send them a DM, whatever, and then they'll follow you back. When you're just following people and there's no interaction, don't be surprised that the same people don't follow you back.
Yes. And also, so here's where, and again, this is up to you guys because it's something else that I do and it helps a lot because a lot of my clientele right now is older, and I'm not gonna lie, I prefer those. I really do. But everybody's different. um, but I also go places with my purpose because again, I know I told you in the beginning what the three things that I do for children, what I'm an advocate for. I also know that my personal mantra is that I want the 3 L's, which is love, legacy, and longevity. Those are the things that I speak about as a person. There's so many different things. Now that I know what I am a resource for, and I have these lives, and I have these recordings, and I have these Zooms, I'm in Atlanta. Look in your community, no matter how big you small. Honestly, the smaller the better. And start figuring out, are there any events or home nursing homes or any whatever it is that it fits your niche, and start to show up there. Start to call. Ask them. It was just Women History Month. Man, there was so many things in Atlanta, so many brunches. This people want people who are going to do that. Have your lives, your snippets. I have my editor, he does that for me. I'm going to start to put them out. They're part of my marketing business, and other people will see them soon. But there's snippets of lives just like this, or moments when I've spoke that I've made whatever, seemed to him like a great point into other people. And he does those snippets, and I attach that with my information after I've made contact. And I said, hey, I really want to come out and speak. I see you're doing this event. I love that. It's actually up my alley. Check me out. This is what I do, and I'd love to be a speaker for this event if you don't have one. You start telling, and they may not have even thought about that. You do it for free at first, and then it starts to be, hey, we'd love to have you back. Do you do this often? I have a friend. They actually are a host, and that's how I started to get put on to being a speaker, going to events, speaking. But I created my own. I had to create my own buzz. When I first got on Instagram, you know how I started to get a network? As soon as I got on here, I had maybe 10 to 15 followers, and I followed everybody that was an author. I started reaching out to brand new authors, and I asked them, will you interview me? I want to send you a Zoom. Will you interview me and ask me about my purpose? I had already prepared for it. And there you can see the lot. There's still on my YouTube where people are saying this is my first time doing this, but she asked me to interview her, and I delivered my interviews as best I could. And somebody on my Facebook, because it's connected, saw the interview and asked me to go on a TV show. And then that's when I started to get on their closed caption TV show and then another stream. All I'm saying to y'all is I did not wait for these things to come to me. So if you are
You
a
went and got
person,
them.
yes, if you are someone and your dream is to say, not only do I want to sell books, and if you're a bookseller or a craft person or whatever it is, I hope you know that I think you sell more in person when people are prepared to see you and they know what you're doing than you do when you're on here hoping that the right person scrolls past what you sell. So when you create these events, even if they're free and you're speaking and you tell them you're an author and you want to bring your items with you, that is how your form of payment first starts. Even on your free events, you're going to make the in-person sales where they don't have to go through Amazon, another platform that gets a piece of your work. You don't have to pay for
Yeah,
shipping. There's so
nothing.
much stuff that you can do, but you're going to have to commit. You're going to have to
Yeah.
commit and say, where do I picture myself telling people about my stuff? And then start to do that. Start small. Look around. Let people know I'm out here. Make some noise. That's my
Well, same thing
part.
like you're doing that as an author. I know Marsha, she is Royal Beauty Beads. She got her waist beads in a crystal shop. And then she goes there every Thursday and she ties people. So that's one step for her. In regards to myself and my cards and my bookmarks, because Quebec is slowly opening, although knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. They're saying we're going through the sixth wave, so hopefully they won't shut stuff down again. But I am now slowly making my little sets of my notepads, a bookmark, some stickers, to go to the coffee shops and the local bookstores and say, listen, this is what I have. I like to leave my little samples with you. Check out the quality if you like it. I can leave some bookmarks on consignment. Like you only pay me when they sell. I come back at the end of every month, I collect my money, I restock, and that's what I'm working towards if we don't lock down again. But I had to get off my arse and go and do that myself. The cafes were not calling me.
Not all.
My friend just started her beauty product. She was on was it last week or the week before? She has Le Butter Bar and she's doing whipped butters and lip scrubs and stuff like that. And so I told her make little samples, go to the hair salons, go to wherever you can and just give the owner, make a nice little basket thing, a little box, give it to the owner and allow them to try your products. And then you can tell them, listen, I can leave this amount or whatever. This is the price I would like. You add on whatever you want, add on to that. Here's a little sheet. We all sign this piece of paper. I'll come back when you need restocking. I'll collect my money and I'll restock. But you have to go and do that work yourself because they're not going to call you say, yeah, I want 5 sugar scrubs or whatever until you've gotten out there and put your stuff in the stores.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with doing the fairs. Like I know Marsha had done she did a get together with the ladies where she had I think it was on a Saturday. The ladies came, they learned about the waist beads, they learned about crystals. She tied people, they fellowshipped. Now people want more of that, and she made that with a bunch of the girls. It took them a week, probably less than a week, and it was a success. And now they want to do more. And that's
Yes.
because she got out of that little fear bubble and she decided to do it and it worked out so well. So yes, as you said, you have to get out there. You have to be present. You have to be purposeful.
Yes.
Don't just go do it to do its sake. And like even if you said like when you did your lives, even if you didn't sell one book, but you had gotten the word out to numerous people,
Yes.
that's word of mouth. That's networking.
Yes.
A lot of times I've done fairs as a seller, as a vendor, and I used to sell soaps and whatever. There's times where I didn't even make back my table, but I made 5 times more than my table days after the event
Yes.
because people took down my business card.
Yes.
I've made so much more money after fairs than I did at the actual events
Yes.
because I networked. I didn't sit down. I didn't get discouraged. I rarely ever sat down, and fairs were 10 until 4. I made eye contact. I spoke to people. I answered questions. I made sure I gave out business cards. I had some free little samples of soaps or whatever I had at the time. And I got the phone calls. Oh, I need this for this birthday. I need this for this retirement party. Christmas is 3 months from now. I want to order all this stuff. I'm like, it's phenomenal when you get out there and you speak on your business and your service.
Yes.
You smile, you have conviction in what you're doing. than to sit back and only rely on this and Facebook and even LinkedIn and all those other sites.
Yes.
They're good. I'm not knocking them whatsoever. Paid ads, I'm not knocking it. But there's nothing like the in-person
Yes.
one-on-one where people can see.
And then also be creative. Bring that extra eunice to what you do. So for me, here's my eunice to what I do. I am a children's book author. So one of the things that's free, I feel like anybody should know, is that children's books need to have what is called a story spine. A story spine tells you how the book goes. It goes from introduction to whatever the event is that caused the main character to do or feel a different way. You've got the middle to where all the event, this caused this to cause that, to cause this, the climax, and then the resolve, how they leave. So those are the 5 parts of a story spine. When I do an in-person event and I'm having fun and I explain it to anybody, everybody has a story they want to tell. Here's what my story does. I create the story spine and the story with the crowd. So we all come out together and I'm doing it. I've got the attention and I'm saying, okay, hey, so somebody give me my introduction. Who's my main character? What is he? What's his special thing? Okay, his name's Doug. You know, and Doug needs a special. He needs to have purple hair. Something. We need to have an identifier that identifies Doug from other, and they tell me what their special character is. And so we build Doug, and he's fun. And then we say, Doug, what is Doug's introduction? What happened? What is Doug's normal life? And so by the time we're done with this, it may take anywhere from, it depends on what time you give me. I know how to make it last however long. And by that time, we've created as a crowd our little children's book script really quick
Oh,
together.
wow.
And we've got
Oh,
our story spine. And then I say, hey guys, this is it. It'll be, I can send this to you guys via email. Everybody can get a copy of what I just came up with. And you guys finish and write that story at home with your little, based on the tips and tricks that I told you. Because all I'm giving them is a spine. The tips and tricks that I told you as an example. But the whole point of this is because I want to help adults help their kids learn and love reading, especially the
I
littles that
love
I'm doing.
that.
So my target audience from 2 to 6. So when I'm doing that for them, parents go home or guardians, grandparents, they're excited. They've got this crazy story spine, but they can switch it up with their kid. That can be their investment. But they remembered me. They buy the books before they leave. They had a great time. How can I support you? I've got 4 different types of books up there. You buy as many or as little as you want. That lets me know. You want to follow me on Instagram? If you are snazzy like that, you do that. This is how you follow me. You want to write a review for me? This is how. But I had to come up with that for fun for myself. I
Yes.
didn't want to just show up and say I'm selling books and just talk for hours. I wanted it to be interactive. I wanted them to remember. So yes, I do that at daycares. Who's that? Girl, yes, girl, what you want to know? I can do that. But I'm giving this away. Again, I told you I'm a wealth. I'll give it away for free because I can't do it all by myself. And I know what's for me is for me, but I'm
Exactly.
giving you guys this because if you are a crafter, what is a craft that you can show and do for fun with your crowd within a certain amount of time allotted? Is there anything that you can bring and show them? Is there any craft that you have almost done, kind of like they do on the cooking shows where they've already got the pieces of what it's finished and what it looks like, and they
Yes.
pull it? Do you have anything like that that you can take to a crowd and show them this, and then show them the blooper one? This is where I put it in the caster too long. This is burnt. So going forward, if you do this, this is not what we want. And then you've got the other one, and you show. But you have got to bring people into what it is you do.
Yep.
Bring
I
them
agree.
into why this is fun, why you are great at it, why they need to support you. And I promise you, experiences right now, after we've been away from each other so long, and yeah, people are getting out and stuff like that, but I bet you can tell the difference in humanity since we were shut down for a while and where they are now. Bring
It's a
them back.
distance. Yeah.
Yes, bring them back to having good, clean fun,
Yep.
enjoying the things about whatever it is that you do. And I promise you, you will get recommendations. You will have, again, just like me, more clients that you can probably handle. You probably be forced to expand, but you just take it all in and you keep going step by step, but figure out what is my best way to present what it is that I'm giving to the world. Have fun with it. Add a fun factor
Amen.
to what you are doing. Yeah.
Fall in love with your business.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
fall in love with it. Because then the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm re-falling in love with my Precious Delights Canada. She is, I always said it's my child, but I guess as my son is growing, so is my business. Because we don't like to use the term small. We ain't small businesses, we's growing businesses. So my baby done grown up, and now she is a major reflection of me. Hence the extension of doing lives. And then I will be having a steady weekly show on YouTube. That will
Woo!
be coming summertime. That is my gift to myself for my 49th birthday. So I'm cleaning up a section of my room. I'm gonna get myself a nice little banner. It's gonna say let's talk crafts. Like as of June of this year for my 49th birthday, I'm going to have something regularly on YouTube. And yeah, that's a major gift for myself. So when I was saying like I'm afraid of my success, I still am. And I'm taking it very slowly because I know there are other things. I have opportunity to do a TV show. I have opportunity to be on the radio. I am not at that level, and honestly, I don't know if I ever will be. I'm going to stay where I'm comfortable, which is Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for now, and see where that goes. But I'm falling more in love with Precious Delights and myself
Yes.
and my followers and my guests
Yes.
on a weekly basis. And yeah, COVID and lockdown and pandemic and just how the world is, it changed a lot for me and my family big time. And I know it's odd to say, but in a way, this whole 2020 and 2022 has been a blessing because it made me have to do this.
Yes. Yes.
I was hosting fairs before. I wasn't selling my own stuff. My thing was, I was basically working for artisans, crafters, and vendors. I had to find locations. I had 20 collapsible tables. I would have to set up the venues. They paid me for my table, so I had to play hostess for a whole weekend or whatever. But I wasn't selling my own crafts. Therefore, I wasn't crafting for almost 2 to 3 years
Oh,
because
LB
because
Creations, thank you so much. I am so blessed. Oh, that is, oh my gosh, that is such
yes, she
a
has a little
blessing.
girl. She
Thank
has a
you
little
so
princess.
much. I'm telling you, that is the best way to support. It's no other feeling, y'all. I thank you
Thank you
so
so much,
much.
LB.
I gotta see
And
what
this is
she
what we
does. I
do.
gotta support her too. I love it. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Oh
no,
my
LB is the one I
gosh.
spoke about. She's another fellow card maker. She does
Oh,
phenomenal work. She's the one was mentioning before that
okay.
our work is not normal. We don't do the normal like we can do the 2D cards, but we like our cards to have layers and be three-dimensional and moving and the explosion boxes. Like, yeah. So we both fall into that category of yes, we are paper crafters, but we are unlike other paper
So I
crafters.
had this idea, and tell me if I'm stepping on toes because that's not my point. My brain goes, what if you did your paper cards, like your the ones that you want to have layers? What if you
Hmm.
did a series of them just for in-person shows that told a story? So you do the first card and you open it up and the heart pops out of the guy. You tell whatever that card is doing. And then you go to the next card and then he's affected, this is the woman he's talking to. So now you got this card that represents this. And it's all, and this whole story is ultimately it's funny, but it's being told between you and
My audience.
your audience in your in Hallmark cards, or what do they call what is that? What type of card is that? The cards that you make,
Well, they're interactive
yes,
cards.
between they should have a fun name too. We gotta get a fun name.
Yeah, but they all have different names because we have
Ah,
like all of our cards, and LB will tell you, like we have the gatefold card, we have the waterfall card, we have the spinner
okay.
card, we have like I don't know, have you seen my cards? I don't think I had a chance to show you, but um like for example, this is a waterfall card. This is their movable card. So when you
Yeah,
pull the
see, yeah,
string,
yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So like so maybe you take each different type of card you have and then it's a part of the story and you make the story and it's just and these are just people like to be entertained. They like to
yeah,
see the fun stuff,
yeah.
all the things. And so I think I think that if you had a show would be too cute at the beginning of just like an icebreaker and how they can meet each card, and by the time they leave and you use and they're just you don't let them touch them, but they're just in the display, people know that they want to sign up and say, hey, I'm signing up for 2 waterfall cards, or I'm signing up because it's fun.
Yeah,
These
I'm
are
trying to see.
fun. And so I'm all about letting people have an experience with what it is that you do and making it closer to them. And for those of you who are
Okay.
crafters and have littles that help you, I saw one and I meant to tell you about, I was going to DM it to you. There was I don't know if it was an ad, it was a reel. Why are my words leaving me? It was a reel. And so on the reel, there was this lady and she's doing this big painting and it's resin and she's adding the crystals and she's doing the thing. You have one person that did that Kobe painting. She knows you. I believe she's a part of your group.
D.
I
She's
mean,
there. Yeah.
her stuff is so phenomenal. I need to
Yep.
get to a point where I've already in my mind mentally said she's going to do some stuff for me. She has no idea because I'm going to get a new house soon. And I want her to do one of my main pieces. But anyway, that's another thing. But anyway, the lady's on this reel and she's doing the piece and she's doing it. And her daughter had to be maybe 2 or so. And her daughter was so excited because she has her portion of what she adds at the end of her. And I watched that reel and it just brought me to tears. And I thought to myself, at the end of it, she shows all of the pains and you can tell the little thing that her daughter does, she's been doing on all. And I was like,
Forever.
that is something I would buy. That is something I would buy because I love the idea of her. And so for any of you guys who are moms that are crafting and that are do those things, it's these little things like that you're probably just doing with her because that's how you feel. People like to be bought into that last little bit,
Yes.
whatever it is that you have. Like when you finish a card, you may have something that you secretly do to that card to say it's done, even if it's just taking a little bit of glitter and putting it across the top, whatever. People want to see that. Bring us into the you-ness, your unique touch that happens when you're doing your craft, because that helps us fall in love with it. That helps us see your love story between you and your business. So I just wanted to put that out there too as a jewel. Like, let people know what these pieces are.
Yeah. Well, because even when I was doing cupcakes or anything else, people would want to come and help me do my stuff. And because everything that I did was me, it's not everything I can teach you. Like I can teach you how to make a cake and decorate a cake, but I can't teach you how to do it the Tara way.
Yes.
So I never had people help me come decorate 300 cupcakes or help me make 400 wedding invitations or whatever, because every card or every envelope was me.
Yes.
I couldn't teach people that flair, that little signature at the end.
Yes.
Certain stuff you can't teach. I can teach
Right.
you how to cut paper, teach you how to glue it together, but I can't teach you how to make it like me.
Yes.
If it makes
Yes.
sense.
It
So,
makes sense. And there's
mhm.
everybody has their thing. And so that is where I like to come in when I am helping people with the branding in their business. I like to help them create whatever that is though. Your little piece that you do at the end, I try to encourage any entrepreneur, whoever I'm helping with the branding side, and I'm like, hey, whatever that extra oomph is for you, we've got to create that. We've got to create so that people know this is where I seal the deal and this is what you can expect from me, So I think that it's fine that you can't teach that to people, but you can still teach them. Like you said, I can teach you how to make the cake. I can teach you
Yep.
how to do the other things. And then I can teach you the importance of having your oomph. Okay. And
Yes.
I can give you examples and I
That
can get your
little
mind
swirl.
going, but you've
Exactly.
got to add that extra piece of it to your thing. So yeah, I think that is awesome. I think that is awesome.
Not to go off a topic, but I know that this moment right now was meant to be. I just had a deja vu. My dog just came up and I just had a deja vu. So this was meant to happen today. I just got my little sign that, yeah, it was weird.
I hope it's
I was,
good. It's good.
no, deja vu means we've already, like this is meant to happen because I've already seen it.
Okay, good. Okay, I was
Yeah, yeah.
thinking about the Denzel movie, and I don't remember. I think he was like racing
No, no, no,
against
no,
time,
no.
and I was nervous, and I'm like, finish that. Is this good or like?
No, 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 no. En français, déjà vu means already seen. And
Okay.
so the vibe I have after, like, this is meant to happen. Today was meant to happen. Our conversation that we're having now was meant to happen
Yes.
because now we go forward onto what we had discussed previously, and now things are supposed to go into play.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is, yeah, that
Yes.
was nice.
Yes, I have had a blast. I was so excited. I'm so grateful that you shared your platform with me and
Oh, you're
you
welcome.
were willing to let me come on and speak life into your audience and share whatever it is that I could. But anybody, everyone, please DM me. I will be telling everyone about you. I've already, like I said, I get all the clients that I have now coming down the pipeline. I'm still working on some things, but as we get towards the end, they already are primed for knowing that, hey, this is where we're going to get our bookmarks and our custom paper things from. So I'll just be getting with you about that for how to get that going. But yeah, I'm very
Yes.
excited to be working with you because it's important that you find these people in your network, because a year from now, 2 years from now, this is where you get to those big companies or those big panels that they have, and they say, you guys all know each other, and you think to yourself, did they all go to the same school? No, but they started and networked together, and they kept
Yeah.
those connections. And so they built and shared that wealth within their community. And that's why they see each other on panels every now and then, and they shout each other out and they're like old friends. It's because they have been working at this stage for a long time. So,
1 second. Ooh Toys, which is Clarissa, she just bought.
oh, wow.
She just ordered Worth the Wood.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
and D is the diamond painter. D for diamond painting. She just ordered I Am Greatness.
What? I'm so
Thank you so much, Lady. I
excited.
told you, my girls be serious.
Yes. And I know I pray that they are going to like it. I would love for them to, if they're comfortable, record the answers. You don't even have to
They
put
will.
their faces for the question. I will sign it. Yes. I will. We will. Let's. Okay. So when you get it, let me know, and we'll do that. I will definitely do that with you and for you.
Well, D is in Atlanta. D for diamond painting, the diamond painting sister I have. She's in
Oh, we
Atlanta.
can do brunch. Oh, can because I that's the one I want. Okay, me and you are actually
Yes.
gonna meet anyway because I didn't even know you were here. I'm
Yeah.
serious about that. I love your pieces, and I think that you would be perfect for that. We can definitely meet. We can meet.
So you
Um,
see, people, this is why I do the Sundays. This is what we were meant to do. We're meant to support each other. And it's not just by like spending the money. We're here to support each other just in affirmations, in commenting and engagement, but the buying of the books is greatly, greatly appreciated. I love that you ladies are, shining through. Thank you so very much. It's like, ah.
yes. Yes, I enjoy it, and I'm so happy to have been on here and have connected with you, beautiful ladies. I'm gonna make sure I DM her afterwards though, because I definitely want to do brunch or lunch with her, whatever is easiest or most comfortable for her. But I will say this, I have actually connected with Lipstick by Imani was on here. She's in Houston, but she came to Atlanta, and we did breakfast together, and it was the best experience. And y'all, we have been talking on Instagram for a while. And when I met her, it was like we had been friends forever. You make real connections on here. And I have had some really, really great experiences. I'm telling you guys. So after you've seen the person, that you know they're a real person first, though. We exchanged
Yes.
numbers and we took our time. I don't want you guys getting, and saying I didn't say that. I said that you
No, but
take time to know people,
I've
but
made some. I made real connections with the ladies, and I'm the only. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not the only Canadian. There are two other ones. There's Shar, and then there's another one, another crafter in Ontario. So there's three of us Canadians. We're most likely the three of us are gonna meet here, but everybody else is in the States. Everybody else is in the States. So hopefully, once everything opens up more here in Quebec, and I get my passport, either ladies come up to me or I go down. Which is better if you guys come up to me because your money too strong right now. Um, But one of my bucket lists is I have to meet everybody. I have to at least get that one hug because they've been meeting each other. They fly in to see each other and doing things
oh,
together. And I'm like, this is not fair. It's not fair. It's bad enough y'all get the sun and the heat, and I'm up here with icicles and sheets of ice on the ground, but y'all hugging and
Yes,
rubbing in my face on lives.
yes. I would say this though too. Don't rule out in the future, as you guys are doing tours. Don't rule
Of
out
course.
doing crafting, brunches, events, tours, and everybody whoever's at whatever the home state is, and everybody going there, meet and
Yep.
have fun, but make money too.
Of
Coins ain't
course.
never hurt anybody. Like just go and create. And it could be a small, just like how you have the painting with the sip. Do one
Yeah.
for crafts, and you guys will do. First, as people are speaking and they can pay for their ticket with money or for their whatever it is. First, you guys can all just be speaking and talking about different things for crafters, and then at the end, y'all can do different tables where they whatever.
Yep.
But people
Well,
just need
like
to
what
experience you.
Michael's and them have a big thing that goes around. Black Girls Crafts has a big yearly thing that goes around. But that's what Marsha did. Marsha's Royal Beauty Bead. She did something in their little area, and one of our sisters, Nicole, she flew down. Some other people flew down for that day to spend learning about the waist beads, getting tied, and just hanging out for the day. And they had a wonderful time.
Yeah,
And like I said, it took them less than a week to set it up. They just, okay, Marsha had this idea. They had a little meeting in the evenings. They planned everything. People were donating stuff for the swag bag. It was wonderful sisterhood.
see, and I'm just saying, you guys make a tour of it. Like,
Yep.
man, I think there's so much to. I just got that DM. That is awesome. I'm gonna respond. I'm so excited. But
I love your energy.
yeah, because I'm so excited, and I want you. Ooh la la toys, you are amazing. Like, thank you so much for everybody on here. Royal Beauty Beads, everybody, guys. Like, I'm so grateful, and this energy is so like I said, like when you put that out there and you're consistent, that's the type of network. Because a part of my prayer, I'm gonna share it now. A part of my prayer is that I wanted to connect with people all over, not just in my niche, but in other niches that were strong in their industry as well, so that as I grew and as God takes me to where I know I see where I'm going, I would have a powerhouse of a network that came with me, that experienced everything with me, so that I don't get to where I'm supposed to go and be at the mercy of other people overcharging me over, for different things, telling me what I love the idea of coming with a community, having my own setup of things, and having more of a say. And I think that that's for all of us along the way. I
Yeah.
feel like just like you're coming up in your craft. I love the idea of being a spokesperson for you for authors. I love the idea of using any resource that I have for Fawn Fables. You have my whole brand behind you, so they can see examples of all the things that I bought everyone, because I'm paying for my stuff, bought from you, all the things. So at any point, if you ever just needed someone, I love doing that. Like, I think that that's important, that we build that. And so I've been praying for that. So being on here, meeting you ladies, talking to everybody who does different things, and sharing this word, it means a lot to me. It really does. Like,
Well,
all of my prayers come to fruition. So I'm very excited about that.
and they will, because they say if two or more agree on it, it will happen. So I know some Bible stuff.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it will happen. I will be hosting I don't know if it's going to be a Zoom, but I'm trying to figure out the best and not too expensive platform where we can have like a meeting of the minds, virtual meeting of the
I
minds, because
love it.
we have 5 or 6 sisters in Barbados who hop
Woo!
on with us. Yeah, like LB Creations, the other card paper craft I told you, she's in Barbados.
Awesome.
But then we have Betty, who's in Martinique. So not everybody's going to be able to fly everywhere and do all the things. And so a nice virtual meeting of the minds. And it's something that I would like to do annually. So I'm
Love that.
discussing with my IT person if she can design a platform for me, because I'm not paying Zoom. Zoom is crazy. Zoom is not getting an arm and a leg and a lung from me, because that's ridiculous. So if there's going to be a platform where I can host something every year where everybody can just come in and we're just going to drink
Oh,
and talk, and I'll have somebody come play music for us, like intervals of music, and we can go off into different rooms, because I've participated in things like that through Michael's and through some other Facebook groups, and I loved that networking, that interaction. Like, we were put into rooms of 10 people at a time, and you had to do your 30-second elevator pitch.
I love it.
It's phenomenal. I've made so many connections from jumping into these things. So I'm just looking for an affordable way, for all of us. It's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. The one I paid for cost me $400 American to be a part of. I learned what I needed to learn. I ain't charging that monies, but we had swag boxes mailed to us, and everybody got a Visa card where we ordered our lunch a few hours in advance, and we all ate lunch together. One of the guests' husband was a saxophone player, and he played for us while we ate. It was because of COVID, people couldn't get together, so they hosted it virtually, and I don't regret spending that money. It was wonderful, and it was started at 10 and it ended at 6. It was wonderful. It was a nice day. So I want to host something like that. So of course I'll be contacting you to be one of our speakers, and just so many things going to be happening this year, girl. We'll talk. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Oh, I'm so excited. And yes, and shout out to us networking ourselves into existence an IT person. We need to start to network in that niche if we don't have one, because you need one. I was so excited when I found my editor person, but you're right. We need an IT person, like somebody who
Oh,
can
I have
do
a
this.
serious IT person, and she's here in Montreal. She's teaching me how to do a landing page. Her and her husband, they own an indoor video game place, but she also teaches kids coding. Like Shondell, she does, and she's my Shondell. She's not Shondell from the Craft Print, but her and Ray, they are phenomenal when it comes to this. And we have a Black organization here in Montreal, and they created a platform and a small marketplace for our Black community. And
Yeah.
it's similar to Zoom, like, and you can have a room of your own, and you have 15
Oh
tables where you can
yeah.
do your little meetings. So I'm going to talk to her and see what the cost will be for that, and it's something that I would own. It would be my
Yeah,
platform.
girl, yes.
Oh, I'm not wasting time.
Sh-
It's not only paper crafts, people.
And this
It's not
is
only paper crafts. Y'all learning something new tonight. It's not only paper
That's
crafts
what.
anymore.
Listen, this is why I told you. See why my prayer was what it was, because God's got to put these people. Because as you get to where He's taking you, you need to be able to have people to help it. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm here to support you. I'm here to support this
Thank
connection. I
you.
love it. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, there's going to be, if I'm not going to be the person that's going to be face on screens or whatever else in regards to TV and whatever else, for me to do all these little things and to know that I have that control, and it's not only for me. What's for me, yes, is for me, but it's also my blessings. Plenty of them are there for sharing. So when I do this platform thing, if I do the meet, when I do the, not if, I forget that if part.
Yes.
When I do the summertime, meeting of the minds, it's for all of us to connect. It's
Yeah.
for all of us to sit there and brainstorm and how we can help each other. Because a bunch
Yes.
of us were going through some stuff in the past couple of months in regards to not getting sales on Etsy, not getting sales in general. There's a couple of mask makers that I know personally who are stressing out because when they lapse that thing, like you don't have to wear masks anymore, they're like, but I survived the past 2 years. I'm making masks. My niche is masks. What do I do now? I'm like, you can still do the mask, but now move on to something else. The masks are still there. Just now you have to grow with that. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that there's a platform, not just my Sundays and not just the Wednesdays that we do, but a solid platform where we know it's us in regards to this membership, and we are there to back each other up,
Yes.
to be there if somebody's having trouble paying a bill. You know what I mean?
I
Or if
love it.
you need a piece of equipment, we're here for you.
I love it.
Because a bunch of us, we have a calling, there's a purpose, we are blessed up to a certain point, but because of financial situations, they can't go beyond that. And we know that there's greatness there waiting.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that by meeting you, by meeting my sisters, there's just so many things. And I'm not saying it's only for Black women, because
No.
that was my initial mindset. It's for men and women alike, but we have to be on the same page in regards to where we're going, because I didn't want to just lock it into only Black women or just lock it into only women, because there are brothers out there, no matter what color, I just say brothers in general, there are men out there, gentlemen out there who are there to help us the same way we are there to help them. So the forums that we have, because there are some crafting brothers out there who are super talented, but they don't want to say
I've
nothing.
never met
They're
a
so
male
shy.
crafter. Artist, yes, but a crafter,
No.
never.
Yo, okay, so I'm going to send you some links. There are some of these men, they do rug tufting. So the rugs there with characters or whatever. There is this one artist, like I'm addicted. I have a nail tuft a rug tufting gum in my Amazon cart. I watch this man on YouTube. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but the rugs that this man makes, and they're not just for the floor. These are works of art that you don't want to put this rug. You want nobody stepping on these rugs. The work is phenomenal. It's all freehand. Nothing is pre-drawn. Freehand stuff. He can take your picture. He can just look at you and do I guess a painting out of the yarn and make it into a rug. And I'm learning that there are so many men out there that craft, but because it's a woman's thing, they don't want to say nothing about their work. And they are, some of the nail techs out there are the men nail techs. You see some of these women with these beautiful men, works of art, resin artists, some of these men, but they're too afraid because of the stigma. That crafting is only for girls. Men don't craft. You can build. Men are supposed to build, but not to craft. I'm like, no.
Okay, so that needs to be a subject at whatever show. A show, I need to have these men as guests on, and we need to be able to talk about the stigma of men in crafting. I would just watch because I just want to see.
Girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so not to go off topic, but there's these two brothers. They're balloon artists. They were hosting a live. It was I was contemplating it. It was $600 in the States. I was like, yo, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd be flying out there right quick. Yeah. So I digress. Yes, they're balloon arches, and they were making balloon lions and just a bunch of stuff. Yeah. There's some crafty men out there.
I am here for it. Okay.
Yeah, even Betty said she saw a bunch of resin men on TikTok. Yes.
See, and that's what I want to like. I love this, but I mean, in all honesty, I love the jokes. I love the fun. But I think that could be something that you definitely shine a light out on and bring to the forefront, and let's talk about it and allow all opinions. If you're a woman that's like, hey, I'm okay with the man crafter, but would you date one? Can you date a man that crafts? How do you feel about men that craft? Do you respect a man who crafts? Like, these are all because I believe that these are all things that the stigma hold them back from. That's like for me, one that's really different for me is male nurses, and I see them, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. It's just a thought. Like when I see it, he's like, I'm a male nurse, and I'm like, okay. It takes me a second. I'm honest. Like it's not a field that you expect.
Here, big time. In Quebec, big time. It's almost 50-50. Yeah. But for me, like, okay, can I date a male crafter? Like, people are going to watch the replay and see my face. I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, I can. But you ain't touching my Cricut. Don't touch my glue gun. We're going to have double of everything. You have to have your own craft room because we're not share. So that would be the major issue is having a crafting boyfriend or husband. We can't share the same space. Can't do it. Like, I like to build stuff too. I like to use jigsaws. I like to make, carve in wood or whatever else. When I used to do stuff with my dad, we always had to have two of each tool because I can't share my stuff.
That's fair.
Lord forbid you break my things.
Right.
You're gonna be sleeping in the doghouse for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, don't touch my Cricut. Don't touch my glue gun. Don't touch my double side tape. Don't touch my stuff.
See?
So yes, I can date a crafty man. Just don't. I can't share. And sure. My son wanted to borrow my son borrowed my ring light because he had to do a project this afternoon. And I looked at my ring light, looked at my kid, I'm like, looked at my ring light. No! And I went, okay. And then the whole time I sat here like this, like, it better come back the same way he took it. Yeah. I don't share.
Well, and see, that's a good thing. Like, I will say I am blessed with that because my other half, he is an investor and he likes all the, I call it the digital dollars. He does all that kind of stuff. So he is not into anything this book writing. He's not a creative. That's me. Like, I'm all about so all the things that happen in my head and come out on paper, he's more like, as long as you've got something you're doing, I don't really care. Like, so I never have to worry about it, and it's so fun though because I share my stuff with him, and he just kind of looks like, I support you, and I'm like, but do you get where this is going? He's just like,
So see, if there was a nice middle, like a part of him, and then like and a crafting husband, but would know to like leave me within my space, but also be interested in what I'm. See, women are complicated. Like be interested in what I do, but don't touch the stuff that I do.
You know what? I love the fact that he's just very supportive just because
Yeah.
what it is he doesn't know what it is I do, but he understands how serious it is to me. You know, he knows what I
Yes.
do, but he's not like, so I love the fact that my in-laws came in and before they were even got to the house, he was like, hey, here's some areas that we don't touch. Here's where we don't go. You know, this is what we don't do. We don't make noise with shit. And I didn't have to say anything. I
That's
love that. I love,
that
and
is
he's very big with sharing with all for Christmas. All of his friends knew that they needed to buy my books for their kid. So when I say super supportive, always have my back, champions what I do, does it. But as far as being involved and being like, hey, you should have it in the, he's like, and so it
you know
works
what?
for me so well.
That's what I was about to say. Take what you get. Don't get upset, sort of thing. Because you could have had somebody that's all up in yourself, say, "No, do this that way. No, that pink on that bow should actually be this fuchsia." Like, so you're blessed. You're
Yes.
very blessed.
He's very clear about things not being his lane, but as far as being protective of me, and it's very funny because he's very quiet versus me. Like I'm talking all over the place,
So you
and
balance 100%.
but
Yes.
he's one of those people where if you want to hear him talk, upset me, and then he's gonna say something. But other than that, you won't even know he's there.
See, that's good. You found a good one. You're blessed in that regard.
Yeah.
So you guys balance in the fact that he's quiet and you're out there. He's an introvert. You're an extrovert. So you're creative and he's more of the logical
Yes.
side. It's a perfect balance. Like Dee says, her husband, yeah, Jacob's the same way with Dee, the diamond painter. Yeah. So balance is everything, and it
Yeah.
also helps you to keep being passionate in regards to what you're doing.
Yes.
Because I've seen too many people, both male and female, have to give up their passion because of their partner and not having that support. You know, oh, you're still doing that little thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I hate it. My heart, I will not lie to you. I think that that is a form of abuse, and I could be being
Oh, it
extra,
is.
but I feel like it is. I'm a drama
It
queen. You can
is.
call it what you want,
Oh no, it
but
is.
I feel like it's a form of abuse. I really hate when people have partners, man, woman, or whatever, and they disrespect and they belittle what it is that you're doing. I think that it is such a terrible way to have to live because you're already fighting your own inward doubts. You have your own doubts that you're going through. That just comes
And,
with it.
and also
So
the outside world is putting that pressure on you to know that the person that you bed with, the person that's supposed to have your heart and vice versa, is the person that's putting you down. I had one of them and I had to get rid of one of them because you can't do that. Like you may not like what I do or understand what I do, but you're going to respect what I do. So I'm asking, you don't have to like it, don't have to be part of it, but you're going to respect it.
and
To
it,
say those words, it's what is it? Verbal abuse. It's emotional,
yes,
psychological abuse.
yes, it is.
I'd rather hear that from a stranger than to hear that from my partner.
Yes,
Because from a stranger, I can just tune you out. Oh, you're not for me. Your
yes,
money is not for me. Not all money is good money.
yeah.
But when it's a family member or very, very, very close friend, oh, you're still doing that little thing of yours. Well, yeah,
Mm-mm.
you got to go.
And that so like the difference is I fall in love with a lot of different things, and so for him it's not even like negative. What I had to do with this particular project when I first pitched it to him, he was like, okay, prove it. And so I would come to the next thing and I was like, look, I'm doing this. He's like, keep going. And then the next day was so great, y'all. I don't know, it may not be exciting for other people, but like once he realized how serious I was with it, he sat down with his computer and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm buying your LLC. Now sit down, let's do this. And he bought it and he bought all the stuff that I need, all the digital stuff and everything. And like I knew at that point, like, you believe, like I'm so happy. But at no point was he ever like, I don't believe you when you first started. It was more so like, is this another thing you're in love with? Is this another cause for the day? Like I didn't know how
Yes, he
far
wants
we
to make sure
going
that
with this.
how much support does he need to put up in there?
Yeah.
No,
So
because like you said, he was investing.
yeah, yeah. And so I love that. Now the other half of that though, the other part of having a partner who's not there and he's not really kind of involved with it at all, is as I'm going through my emotions with it, because you guys, we have those days where my self-talk isn't as positive as it should be, and I'm just feeling down on myself. Something's went wrong, and I'm saying to myself, you know what, why am I even doing this? When that happens, he's also not here for that either. So there's days that I'm very down on myself, and he can like see it, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you this though, whatever it is, you got until tomorrow, and you need to be back at that desk. You need to be back at what you're doing. Like, and he's not. I will say sometimes I tell him he's not as loving or whatever. In his mind, he's very straightforward. So his kind of thought is like, I'm not gonna pour energy into caring anything about that, because that's not like we invested in this now, so this is what we're doing. So if you need to go through that, and I get mad. I mean, this is not, first of all, we should not be talking about me, but I'm just saying, so there's half it. I'm just letting everybody know it's
Transparency.
yeah, it comes with it. Yeah.
But no, I see, because I know others, like I have male friends whose wives do the same thing and vice versa. It's not that he's not being supportive, or that the love is different. He's being that tough love for you because he already knows how, if he side with you like, oh baby, yeah, I understand, and blah blah, you're just gonna stay in that hole. So if he's telling you, I'm giving you till tomorrow at 7 p.m., you gotta come out of it, that's what you need to hear. That's tough love, and a lot of us need that. So yes, you have a right to be upset and angry at that point in time too. But if he was with you in that, what is it? Not self-pity, but just that downtime, then who would be the one to pick you up and help you get out of it if you're both in that hole? So he's basically like, okay, so you're in there doggy paddle for a bit longer. Okay, you're done. Sticking his hand in there, pulling you out.
Yeah.
By the scruff of your neck, shaking you off. Let's get going. And a lot of us need that too, because he's not an enabler. He's an enabler.
And you are very blessed to have that. Very, very blessed. Because I know a lot of people have quit their businesses because they've had the partner be like, you know what, well, if it's not for you, you don't feel comfortable doing, or you've had a rough day, a rough week, a rough month, you're not making any sales, I have your back, let's just stop doing it. No. Let's do another 3 months. Let's give it a time limit. Okay, we're going to give it to half of the year. If within 6 months we haven't reached this goal, blah, blah, okay, I have your back. We'll move on to something else. But not to allow you to give up on yourself, because yes, we are our worst critics.
Yeah.
And then you have the outside world dumping on you as well.
Yeah.
So to know that you have a man that's strong, to know that you're going to be vexed at him, but no matter what, he's going to be there to pick you up by your bootstraps. You blessed.
Yeah.
You very blessed. Because I have a feeling that if he wasn't that way, you wouldn't have continued doing a lot of stuff.
Probably not. I know. I will say that. And I think that a lot of what he's pushed me to do, I will say, look at where I am now. I mean, because there's been multiple times, like when I was frustrated with that illustrator, I tried to quit so hard. And he was just like, I promise you, if you quit this, I am going to stop doing this, and this until we pay back everything we invested, because that makes no sense. And because every household's different. So our household, he's the biggest breadwinner. He handles our our finances, blah, blah, we're not into that. So my thought was like, I don't feel like that's fair. I'm telling you that I have been had. I have this illustrator did not show up. They did not deliver. I paid them. I did. And I'm like, I have a right to say, I want to stop this. And he was like, no, you don't. Like, so what else? And so that was ugly for a second, but everything ended up working out, and it went well. But there's times that you think to yourself, sometimes you just want to have that person that you can go to and be like, be in this mood with me, like be here with me. And he's just not good with that.
Okay, so
yeah, but
so fair warning, and D and them will tell you, and Marsha and them will tell you, I'm not that person. I'm him. So we're being transparent. D and Marsha will tell you straight up, I don't do the pity party thing. I'm out of the three of us on the Wednesdays, I'm not her. I'm the one that's like, okay, and
yes,
I hear excuses.
yes.
I hear reasons.
That's it.
Marsha then will tell you straight up, like,
him.
you can come to me, like, I'll pat you on the shoulder for a little while, and then I'm stopping you on your backside. Let's go, like, or the back of the head. I'm cuffing you good. Like, okay, I let you get those couple of tears out. Now we done. I don't want to see it. Let's get going.
Yeah.
I'm him. So just fair warning.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I will listen. I will have your back, but I'll be like, okay,
Excuses is done. Let's flush that. Let's get to the reasons now. Oh, that's the reason? Well, we can fix that. That's the reason we can't do that? Okay, so then we just dash that away.
Yes,
I
that's
am that. I am that
yes.
foundation.
And I think sometimes, and I can be harsh because a lot of times I'm thinking, I'm like, you deal with numbers all day, so you're okay with losses, whatever, because they make sense. This is not the same. Like, I don't have that, this is why I lost. Like, this just went wrong. Like, you know what I mean? This is, this isn't working, and I can't. So it's just learning to push through that. And like I said, it goes on. Everybody, all of us have our different, our differences. Because like I said, sometimes I just have my days. But overall, I'm very grateful to have support. And so I say to anyone, if you don't have someone who's supporting your dreams and they can't tell that you really are dreaming, this is something that you really want, I definitely say that's something that you got to start trying to work on, because having that partner in your back with no matter what, that will make all the difference between who you become, how hard you go, because it's
Yes.
consistency around. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have it. And I pray every person ever, whether you man or woman, I pray that your partner supports and loves what you do, even if they're not interested. Because again,
Yes.
you can't get him to write or anything or whatever a children's book, but he loves me and he loves it. That's what I'm doing. So that's it's
You
okay.
need to surround yourself, whether a partner or whatever, with people who believe in you.
Yeah.
Especially in the times where you don't believe in yourself. And that for me is my son.
Mm.
No matter what, even if I don't believe in myself, my son will be like, what's up? What's happening? Like, so he's become me.
Yeah.
Our rule is we don't take excuses. You must always give me a reason.
Yeah.
You can't stress about stuff you can't fix. Just leave it.
Yes.
And why are you going to stress about stuff you can fix? Fix it.
Yeah.
So that's how we run our household here. So when I'm going through stuff, whatever, my son is the one I speak to. He'll give me his feedback. Remember, he's only going to be 17 in August, but he's so wise, and he's also been through so much with me that he knows what my limits are.
No.
And we also know, like, when people say, I'm doing this, but I don't want to do this anymore, then I know it was just a hobby. It was just a passing fancy. If you're going to tell me that I found my passion, I know what I'm going to do, I am not the type of person to let you give up.
Yeah.
If I hear those words, I found my calling, I found my ministry, I have a passion for this, I'm not letting you let that go. But if you're just talking to me like, oh yeah, I did a couple of this, whatever, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm like, okay, fine, that was a hobby.
And what I will say this, when you found your passion or your calling, because ever since I've been doing this, and this was a part of one of the conversations me and him had, because I told you it got ugly because I was like, I'm trying to let this go. Is that people will start to tell you, but you're so much of a better person since you've been doing this. And I've been hearing that from my job. My circle of friends has changed. My relationship has gotten better. He's like, you're a better person with this. So I can't get behind you leaving it, because look at who you've become in this short period of time. And we've been together 14 years. So for him to say, in the short period of time that I've been doing this is like ideal. It's real. My mother, anybody close to me is like, I didn't even know. My mom told me that. She was like, I have never been prouder of you as a daughter until I've seen who you've become through this. This is your message. This is what you're supposed to do. So for anybody, if what you're doing makes you better, a better person, please realize that you've got to toil and push through. And I still have my days, but it definitely is something that's meant for you.
Like for me the other day was, I didn't pick up a scissor, I didn't touch a piece of paper, no glue, no nothing. I picked up some beads and I made another wristlet. I had nothing to do with paper. And then I took out my acrylic paints because I'm going to go back to my painting. I miss painting so much. So I'm going to start doing my acrylic painting again. But on the days where I don't want to touch a piece of cardstock, no matter what the weight is, I have a bunch of other stuff I can do. And then when I'm done doing that, I pick up myself, brush myself off, and I hit the Cricut machine. I get my scissors, and I do whatever I need to do. But there were going to be times where you just like, oh, I need a break from this.
Yeah.
Just don't stop.
Right.
Completely. Find something else to pour that energy into to keep that fire burning, or at least the embers lit. And eventually that fire will ignite again, and then you'll just fall back in love. Because the same thing, like you're with somebody, they get on your nerves. You're crafting, your business will get on your nerves. Children get on your nerves. Still love them.
Parents.
You know, parents, everything. So sometimes you just need that time just to breathe, just to be in yourself and breathe and step away. There's nothing wrong with taking a break.
Yeah.
Just don't give up. The minute that you stop trying is the only time you can say you failed.
Yes.
So then there's no such thing as failure.
Yes. Yeah.
Until then, yeah. So I've learned that, and by doing all these things and meeting the people I've meeting, speaking with you, I also met Karma's Paradise LLC with Preston and Armand. I love her.
She's awesome.
I was supposed to be part of the pop-up. I think that was this weekend or whatever weekend coming, but I had to deal with some other stuff. So I'm going to be part of the June one, the virtual pop-up in June. So even just like reaching out and doing stuff like that, like she's in the States, I'll be joining a virtual pop-up from Canada in the States.
Awesome.
Send down some stuff in the swag bag, and then I'll be on the live showing some stuff. So yeah, stepping out of the comfort zone in that regards.
Yes.
And that's what people have to do. Like you said, you can't always be seeing the same 5, 6, 7, 12, 37 people every single week at the same time, when you know that there are lives happening Monday through Sunday and other platforms. You know, I got off the live on Wednesday with Marsha and Dee, and then somebody else was having a live, and she was by herself, and she does a trivia thing every Wednesday. I was having a bit of trouble speaking in our live because I had a sore throat. But I joined theirs because I wanted at least that she wasn't by herself. I was done that live that night. I had 5 new followers. So it's like sometimes you have to step out of that comfort zone and just hop on. Be it in the comments, be it on the camera. Do what you need to do to get seen.
Yes. Yes.
Just all you gotta do is that's the networking.
Yes.
Sorry. Even being in the comments is networking.
Yes.
We've been fellowshipping and networking all night long.
Yes. And anybody in these comments, we can all do lives together. I can jump on your lives.
Yes.
We can find common ground in our different niches, and we can talk about it and bring both of our audiences together. We can sell our products and our message together.
Yes.
Like we can spread it. Like, let's do it.
I'm not going to lie, like a lot of us don't do the same thing. Like Marsha does waist beads, Dee does the diamond painting, me and Elby do paper craft, and also Firefly does paper crafts, but also different stuff. Then we have Dubad, who does with the canvas, with the yarn. She makes like bags and different things with that. And then we have Nubian that does masks. We have Ulala Toys. She sells toys for adults. All of us is different stuff. We have Cozy, we have Betty, and Shar. Like everybody does different things. And Nicole also. Nicole's our bling queen, so she blings out everything. She makes some wonderful tumblers and stuff like that. So we are a nice community of a bunch of different people, and we support each other. Oh, and the Davina, the one that asked you if you do daycare stuff, she sells frames. She's not a crafter, but she sells frames, eyeglass frames.
Awesome.
So like we are very supportive. We are so diverse within our sisterhood, but we all have each other's backs.
Yes.
And now we have an author.
Yes. 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 I'm so excited.
We're growing.
We are growing, and I love this because one thing that we as authors love is to see our characters that we've come up with everywhere. So we want to see them in resin. We want to see them on paper crafts, everywhere. So if you are a crafter and you can give us one big painting of it, there's so many of us who want different things. Trust me, we will mix and match this audience for sure.
Well, Marsha, who does the waist beads, she also has Invictus, and they do printing. Awesome. And so they are upgrading the way that the company is moving, and they're going to be more working with businesses and small businesses, growing businesses. So in regards to like printing T-shirts and whatever else for businesses. So that's a nice little hookup with Marsha in regards to Invictus as well. And then also they do laser engraving too. So acrylic and wood and different things. So
yes. Oh my gosh, acrylic, because Worth the Wood. I would love to have something done in wood for that if she has that.
Yes. She also has pencils. She can put sayings on pencils. I have to order some. Marsha, please keep on reminding me. But they can put like I'm going to have some pencil sets made for my son's teachers because he's graduating this year, grade 11. He's off to college. But I'm going to have pencil sets made for his teachers, some with their name and some of the sayings that my son would say to them. And then she what else does she do? It's the acrylic stuff, so she can do like little acrylic signs. She can do different things for you. Oh yeah. So just by meeting these girls, you have new connections that will help out with Fun Fables.
Oh yes, listen, and all my authors, I got authors that follow me. They like to do what I'm doing, and I'm gonna tell them, Like, this is what I'm doing. So yes,
Yeah,
yes,
she says
yes.
the rebranding is coming on the 10th of this month.
Awesome.
So yeah. But yeah, where there's so many. Oh yeah, and then there's Alex. Alex also does bling, and she's in New York. And then we have Simply Lou Crafts. She's another phenomenal paper crafter. She actually got me back into my paper crafting. I made my very first cake topper. Was a baby reveal, boy or is a boy or girl, and was my very first cake topper. So I've met some wonderful, wonderful crafters, and then also just other business owners. Like I said, some of them, the adult toys and glass frames, like I would have never met them had I not done this. And then you have the Dr. Craftology. She's helped us all out with social media, just
Mm-hmm.
giving us guidelines and direction in regards to how to big ourselves up with TikTok and Instagram and everything else. So we have a nice little community of people.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, oh my goodness, it's almost 10 o'clock already.
Yes, girl, you got to dismiss us.
So I thank you so much for joining me today. We will talk this week because now that we've done our live,
Yes.
I've basically caught up with all my other orders. So we will start talking
Yes.
and getting the wheels moving. And then, yeah, it's just big things from here on out.
Yes. And I thank you guys so much for having me. I thank you for all of the support for everyone I've met here. Please link up with me, reach out to me. If there's any DMs that I've been seeing come through, I will definitely be answering them. But you guys keep going. Oh my gosh, keep
Yes.
going. There is no problem you cannot figure out if this is your passion. The problem was
Yeah.
put before you so that you can be the solution and spread that to everyone who comes after. Keep that in mind. So problems create new streams of income for you going forward. So please, please, please keep pushing. Thank you for having me. And you
Thank
guys have a
you.
wonderful, wonderful night.
You too, my dear. And I'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed night. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, another terrific Sunday. And I thank you ladies so much for the support. Yeah, it means a lot to know that we are people of our word. You guys came out, you showed up, and you supported, and you have my heart as always. So, yeah, that's basically it. I guess the evening is done. We're going on to 10 o'clock. And we'll be doing this again next week, next Sunday. I think next Sunday is Karma Paradise LLC. I think so. I have to double check my calendar. You know how I am. But yeah, same time, same place next Sunday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I thank you guys for hopping on. I thank those of you who stayed on with us till the end. And it was, like I said in the title, nice to see you. Glad that you can make it. Glad that you can join me. I love you all with my heart. To the new people, please be sure to follow, like, share, comment, engage. Do not follow to unfollow. And we are here to support you as you witnessed this evening. If you have any questions, you need any help with anything, if I can help you, I will help you. Just send me a DM. But we are here as a community. It's not a group. It's not just a live. This is a community that we are all building. And so, yeah, I look forward to meeting new people. If you want to hop on a live on a Sunday, send me a DM. We'll talk about it. See if you fit into the vision that I have in regards to the Sundays. And yeah, we'll just take it from there. So be blessed. Je t'aime. Bonne nuit. À la prochaine. Bye, everyone.